Live from Atlantic Canada, rugged Atlantic Canada, from all the time zones, all the nations, everywhere the internet reaches. We are coming you live tonight for yet another episode of Toast to Toast AM with my co-host David. How are you, David?
Hello, Internet. How's everyone tonight? This morning, today, whatever time it is, wherever you are, it's wonderful to see you here. How are you
Absolutely.
feeling?
We're slightly out of our, I don't know if we have a normal time zone, time slot per se,
Yeah, we like to make
but
it hard for people to enjoy our content.
so in Canada today was a day off, at least in most provinces it was.
Most provinces, not every province.
It's
No,
Nova Scotia Heritage Day here, and I believe, is it Family Day for you?
it's Family Day in most Western provinces. Yep. Yeah.
And yeah, and I think if I don't know, it was a President's Day today in America. Is that a thing?
You'd know better than I would.
I'm pretty sure that February is President's Day, but I don't know if it was this weekend or next. I don't know. Maybe someone in the chat will know.
Yes, Vishanti says it's President's Day.
All right, perfect. So that means everyone today bought a new mattress. That's what I know about President's Day.
That's what you know, that there's incredible sales to be had on mattresses.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, perfect. Well, I'm very excited. For those of you who don't know, welcome to the show. This show celebrates the legacy of Art Bell's run on Coast to Coast AM, a radio show that still runs to this day, where they deal with all manner of topic, from the supernatural to the strange science to just interesting people. And
Non-conventional reporting.
that's right. If the X-Files were a talk radio show, was that fair to say?
I would say that is fair to say, yes.
That would be it. And we love the show. We pay homage to it, and we love Art Bell. So that's what you're in for today. We started the show largely with topics where it intersected with religion, which is, I know, a topic that we cover largely on this show. But we are now branching out to some of the other more fun things because Dave and I enjoy having fun.
Yeah. We
Despite
hope you do too.
despite what people have said and heard,
No promises, Shannon.
we do like
Nobody has ever
having
said that
fun.
about me.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I've said it about you.
All right, so
Oh, we need to start with a toast before we
we need to start with a
get
toast.
going. That's right.
So cheers to everyone out there,
Here's
to
to all the
respons-
wonderful viewers.
to
You know,
responsible beverages and good times.
speaking of the viewers of your channel, Paul, I heard a lot about them on the news lately.
Oh, really?
Seems like every time I'm watching, CBC or CNN or anything, they're talking about politicians. And I'm like, I had no idea your channel had that kind of reach. It's amazing. You must really be proud. There's entire panel shows discussing your fans, and that's something. Cheers to you, friend. I am impressed. Yeah.
Well,
And hey,
that's
all the
again,
politicians out there, thank you.
that's
Yeah.
that's on my fans, not on me for sure.
Mhm.
All right. So Dave, as you know, we this show doesn't run itself.
No,
We have to keep
Yep.
the lights on. We gotta pay the internet bill. The
gotta pay
internet
the bills.
delivery guy wants his money.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
I know it's a sad reality. So that it comes in a few things. One is that we enjoy super chats on the show. We love interacting with everybody. Oh, speak of the devil,
Speak of the devil, not that Timothy Harmon is the devil. He's a wonderful person, and we're glad.
Timothy
he's here.
Harmon, one of our loyal supporters. Cheers to you, Timothy. Thank you for the $5 super chat. We appreciate you.
Thank you. For the first one of the night, I'll have a shot of the good stuff.
We do take time to honor and read all the super chats if they are appropriate for reading.
Hi, Bob. Yes.
And the other thing that we do is, of course, we like to have well, not that we like to. It's just a necessity. The
Yeah.
show doesn't work without a sponsor.
No. I mean, we're obviously happy and proud of the various products that we have.
We
You
are
know, we don't
honored.
just take anybody.
We are
Not
honored.
just-
These people are taking their brand and they're willing to associate it with Toast to Toast. I mean, how can we not feel honored?
Yeah, we're proud of that. Which, by the way, we should take this opportunity maybe to plug that there is in
Okay.
fact available. Maybe I'm pretty sure Toast to Toast merch, right? That we have
Toast to
official.
Toast. We now have our first Toast to Toast merch because our winner of the trivia contest last week.
Mm-hmm.
When we have trivia contests, the prize so far has been anything from the merch store,
Yeah.
and the winner rightfully said, "Well, you don't have any Toast to Toast merch in your merch store, there,
Yeah.
Paulogia. You got your other stuff. You
Yeah.
got your ham and egg news, and you got your other various shirts. And for the Bible tells me so. So boom, do we now
Yeah.
have some Toast to Toast merch?
So yep, hit on up the merch store.
Link
Get
in the
some Toast to
description.
Toast merch. But that being said, Paul,
Yes,
we got a lot to cover tonight, so let's get on.
let's get to it.
We got our new sponsor this week that I'm very
Perfect.
excited about. Paul, like all the loyal followers of your fantastic content, all the wonderful politicians out there, I know you've been enjoying all the fantastic options available from the kind-hearted, long-term sponsors of this show, Pants. But for all of their wonderful products, there's an elephant in the room that we really need to address. Sometimes it's just too dang hot to wear pants. You'll never catch me saying that pants are anything less than an amazing product that every person listening to my voice should own. But this is a channel built on intellectual honesty. And the honest truth is that on hot and humid days, pants really aren't that comfortable. Now, before our comment section gets flooded with people complaining that I've sold out to those charlatans over at Shorts, know this, viewers. Shorts are just pants that somebody got too lazy to finish. They barely do 20% of the work of pants and are worn by people desperate for attention and not too picky about how they get it. No, sir. I'm not here to sell you shorts. There may be children watching this show for pity's sake, although I sincerely hope not. Instead, I'm going to tell you how to enjoy your pants and still be comfortable for nearly half of the year. It's all thanks to tonight's wonderful sponsor, Winter. Winter is the perfect way to end any year. It's beautiful, elegant, and adds an element of danger to even the most commonplace outdoor activities. Tired of huge sections of the natural world being alive? Winter will take care of that. Tired of being sure-footed while walking to work or school? Winter can turn even the highest quality asphalt into treacherous, frictionless ice that makes a simple 15-foot stroll into an adventure. Worried about toughening up so you can face the multitude of trials and sorrows that life constantly flings at all of us? Winter can make the air itself painful. It will literally hurt to breathe. Not to mention, it can be so cold it will actually burn your unprotected flesh. You will be tougher than a $2 steak in no time. The next time Darren from accounting tries to talk over you in a meeting, you just pin that bastard to the wall with the kind of stare you can only get from having your very mind and soul frozen by an honest-to-goodness, hell-on-earth winter. So the next time your planet is orbiting the sun, make sure you use promo code TOAST2TOAST, that's TOAST, number 2, TOAST, to get a complimentary set of mittens and a warm fuzzy scarf to help you make it through the horrible, horrible winter. Trust us, you're going to need them. Now, I should mention, possible side effects of winter include frozen fingers, icy eyes, numb nuts, and death. Winter.
Wow. Well, thank you, Winter.
Thank you, winter.
I think we're all largely aware of winter. I wasn't aware of all the benefits of winter personally.
Well, it's easy to take it for granted. And
Yeah.
that's why we're here. Part of what we're doing is to raise awareness, Paul.
That's right. Yes.
For the children.
Winter advocacy, as it were.
Winter advocacy.
I like it. Thank you to our sponsor, Winter. And thank you to Mark Rothenbuehler for the $10 super chat. As a morning person, I usually wake up at 5 to 5:30 a.m. You night owls kill me with these late streams. I probably will not make it to the end. I'll watch tomorrow this, though. Have fun. Well,
Yeah.
Mark, future Mark, who is watching on the next day,
Yes.
I hope you had a good sleep and
Me
that
too.
your work is delightful.
Oh, they pay very well, Jeff. Big winter pays very, very well. Yeah. we're doing fine.
Winter has a PR. Yeah, well, no, I'm not saying anything bad. Winter was just we're here to help get the word out about the positive aspects of winter.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Perfect.
Take that, bugs.
All right. Well, speaking
All
of
right.
bugs,
Yes.
Wait, did you say bugs?
I said bugs because winter
Were
kills
you
bugs.
referring to our guest tonight?
I don't know who our guest's name is.
Oh, our
Did I just
guest
take
tonight is
attention to that?
Bugs. His name
Oh,
is
well,
Bugs.
no, I did not know that. No,
So
I
Bugs
mean,
is
yes,
a. So let
it's
me
part of
set
my
up the episode here. We
exhaustive research for this show.
so sometimes Art Bell had a guest on. He the show was it 6 nights a week or 5 nights a week? I forget.
6. No, but there would oftentimes be different weekend hosts sometimes.
Right.
And
So, but they had to fill a lot of content, and so
yeah,
sometimes they had guests pre-booked, and sometimes they just were straight up call-in shows.
yeah.
The last time we had an episode, it was Mel's Hole. I hope
Mm-hmm.
if you
Mel's
haven't
Hole
seen
Part
the
One.
Mel's Hole episode,
Yeah,
why don't you go bookmark that and come back to it? Click on your watch
we
later.
really should. Everybody here should. Yeah.
Because I think in the future we may follow up more in the Mel's Hole saga, but that was born out of one of the call-in shows. There was no guest that night. We are going to be revisiting in 1996 a similar episode where it was merely just a call-in show, but
Yep.
Once again Art received a fax that
Art
piqued his
received a
interest.
fax, which is on the
So,
bingo cards. I don't have it on mine. I don't know if it's on yours.
oh, wait. Oh, actually, we do need to mention about the bingo
Yes.
cards. So, if you go to the description of this video, there's a link where you can get your own Art Bell bingo card and
Yes.
play along with us.
Sadly, only the first 28 people to do so can play along with us, but I don't think we've
I
ever
see.
actually hit the limit. Nobody's ever complained that they couldn't get one.
So get in early, get in off not often, just because it's based on your IP address.
Just the
So
one
get
time.
get in early.
Yeah.
Oh wait, so you had something? You have fax on yours?
Well, no, one of the possible bingo spaces is Art.
Oh, is a fax. So that look forward to that one. Yeah. All right. So Dave and I will be playing along our bingo cards. My card is this one here with the crop circles, and Dave's is on
Well,
the left.
I've just had a drink, so I'm going to go ahead and check off. Have a
Oh,
drink
there
on
you go. We both have the center square. Perfect.
mine. Center takes the square.
Okay. So
Thank you,
let's get
Bichette.
to it. We're going to be jumping in roughly 45 minutes into the episode. We're skipping ahead to where Art receives his fax.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Is that enough backstory? You didn't even listen.
Art Bell.
Art Bell, we're gonna be surprised. Actually, just so everyone knows, Dave and I try not to listen too carefully, so we want to react along with you.
Yeah.
So,
I did know this was just random call-in show.
It was, yeah, and so most of the show is other callers reacting to this caller. So anything on your bingo card could happen because we don't know what people are gonna. But Bigfoot, off we go.
Bigfoot, big feet.
Now, here again, Art Bell.
Once again, here I am. Well, folks, you're not going to believe this. But I have on the phone the author of the
When Art
facts
says that,
about
it means
Bigfoot.
something.
He's on the phone.
When Art says what?
When Art says, "Folks, you're not going to believe this,"
That's right.
that means something, right? Yeah.
High standards, because you got wackadoodles every night.
Yeah.
With me. And I had to talk very hard to try and get him to say a word or two on the air. And he's going to. You may recall the facts. For those that don't, I'm going to read it. I'm going to read the facts. And then we're going to go and say a couple of words to this man. And I am dying, as you are, of curiosity. Dear Art Bell, I know where 2 Bigfoots are buried. In 1973, 2 friends and myself were out hunting at night using spotlights. Came across one Bigfoot in an open field. He was about 100 yards away. 2 of us shot and dropped him. He got up. We fired again. He went down a second time.
We have a super chat? Oh, Timothy?
Yeah. He is definitely not paying
first-
$5 to see my tee figured out. I mean, this is one of my absolute favorite T-shirts. I like this.
$5 super chat.
Yeah.
Dave, I'm not paying $5 to see your tea. I figured it out on my own. Perfect.
I'm glad.
Space Invaders.
Yeah.
And Nathan, Jasper, thank you for the $10, Nathan. Sometimes I get the feeling these sponsors aren't real.
I'm not.
Have you not heard of
moderator
Winter?
on this channel, so I can't ban people. But that feels like
This is slanderous.
Slanderous. That's the word I was looking for, Paul. Thank you.
Let me finish reading here. But when I reflect on the fact that Pants, Winter, Mugs, these are the most reputable names in the game. Oh,
Okay,
you
well,
turned it around.
Yeah, I
Thank
take
you.
it back entirely, Nathan. You really you pulled out of it there.
Thank you, Nathan. Yes.
I rushed to a snap judgment, Paul. I didn't have all the facts,
Mhm.
and I made a snap judgment, and it was wrong. And I'm big enough.
Listen,
to
if
admit
we would have just gone ahead and accepted money from the people over at Shorts,
that. Mm-hmm.
that's how you know that we're selling out, right? We're just
Yeah, you would have every right to call us, money grabbing, attention seeking, short wearing sycophants. No,
that said, that we might
my
be on
life,
YouTube Shorts, but that's a different thing.
no, that's a different thing. Yeah,
Yeah. All right. Okay, so
that's it. Shorts. If you're interested, get to me.
all right, so for those just tuning in, Art's reading of facts. Someone was night hunting.
Mm-hmm.
They saw a Bigfoot and they dropped it.
He knows where 2 big feet are buried.
He got up
So I'm
again
gonna-
and started.
What?
I'm just going to go ahead already and kick off. I got cryptids on my card, which is this is a good night for me.
Damn you.
I also have mythological creatures discussed as scientific fact. Is that I feel like we can probably.
Oh, I also have cryptids. Look at me.
What else have I got on this? I should look at my card real quick.
All right, I'm going to keep playing. while
For the
we-
river. This time he was about 250 yards out. We fired again, hit him, but he did not drop. The next morning, we returned to the area and started to track him. It was easy since there was a lot of blood. We followed him down the river for about a half mile, came up on a large wild plum thicket. The blood trail went in there. We flipped a coin and the odd man went in. It was December, there were no leaves. I crawled in on my stomach, and about 50 feet in, that's 50 feet, I met with the female. Thank God for the
He crawled in a thicket for 50 feet.
It's a big wild plum thicket. I mean, I've seen plum that there.
I'm just trying to
Shorty.
picture the scenario.
Yeah.
So, but the Bigfoot they shot had jumped into the thicket.
I guess, yeah, yep.
This
That's
is
where the blood trail went into.
This is a nimble thicket. All right.
A big foot that had 5 or 6 bullets in him at this point
Yes, that's right.
from
Yeah.
high-powered hunting rifles. Yeah.
44 Magnum. It took 3 shots to bring her down. Each time I fired, she went backwards. She stood up, and my 2 buddies each fired, hitting her in the head. That was the end of it. We found the male dead in the thicket. Female had the same body as that of a human, sex organ, breast, and so forth. Male had the same type of organs as a human. The difference, though, was that of the face.
So what he's saying is he checked out the Bigfoot's junk.
Yep.
Yeah, he felt he needed to report on that.
Also, he's saying he crawled 50 feet into this thicket, was surprised by the female Bigfoot,
Yeah.
shot her. Then his 2 other buddies shot her, so maybe they were there, or I don't know. That's I'm not sure exactly the
Okay.
who's where and who's shooting how, but yeah.
I don't know if he checked out the Bigfoot genitals before or after he shot them. Hopefully after. I don't know.
These guys sound like they're just real murdering, Bigfoot haters here.
Listen, even if you're a hunter, consent is important. Don't just be oogling genitals.
That's okay if they're dead.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I'm gonna get you demonetized one way or the other.
So Webb, you did not miss part 2 of the bottomless hole guy. That will come in the future.
Yeah.
We can only have so much of Mel's hole all at once. We need to spread the joy.
We need
There
a
are
little
4
bit-
parts to the Mel's hole saga. So
Yeah.
All right.
That looked like a cross between a human and ape. The male was about 7.5 feet tall, his weight about 350 pounds. The female, 7 feet tall and 300 pounds. Since they looked so human, we decided to bury them. We felt that we might get charged with murder. All 3 Vietnam vets were snipers, so we knew what we were doing. We took 10 Polaroid photographs, pictures. If you want to talk to me, then I will fax you my number.
Is that a thing? So in the 90s, this is 1996.
Yeah.
Did people go hunting with Polaroid cameras?
I mean, well, I could honestly see that taking a
I
camera. I've
guess
seen
you
lots
could see
of
it
photos,
because there was no.
like people. I've seen lots of hunting photos of. I have family that hunts. I never really did.
Yeah, I
But, like,
guess.
holding up
I
like a
guess
buck or something.
I would
right
just
to their-
thought you brought a normal camera,
Yeah.
but not necessarily
Yeah,
Polaroid.
I
but-
mean, you would think so too. I don't know why I'd bring a Polaroid, but
okay. Well.
yeah. And to be fair, this was recorded in the '90s, but who knows what this guy's saying he knows where they're buried. I mean, this could
Oh
have been,
right, yeah, true.
yeah,
like
the '70s or something.
because
he shot these.
just because we had Razor flip phones in 1996.
Yeah.
Just say the word bugs, and I will fax the number to you. If I agree to
Bugs, Dave.
There you go.
Just say the word bugs. Code
Say
name
the
bugs.
word bugs. Yeah.
show you where they are, and if I need an attorney, your company will pay the bill. That is the only way. Well, while my company is certainly not prepared to foot the bill, the Bigfoot Society has indicated that with the right conditions, they are. They'll help. They have money. They have resources. They have helicopters. They're very serious about what they're...
If you have, don't worry about your legal problems. We've got
Yeah,
helicopters.
You want a tour of the Grand Canyon? We can get you one.
We can get you to the airport super quick.
Mm-hmm.
Just zip over the traffic.
doing with regard to Bigfoot. Now, I just, during this last break, got a simple fax with a way to contact somebody with a pseudonym of Bugs. He's on the phone right now, and here he is from an undisclosed location. We'll just leave it at that. I don't even right now want to know where you are. But I do want to say thank you for...
Art's not going to get in trouble for knowing where the...
Well, you know, he
Bugs
doesn't
is.
want to. He doesn't want to have to go down to the station and make a statement.
True enough, he doesn't want the... Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The responsibility of reporting in, that's a lot. Okay.
getting back to me.
You're welcome.
I was afraid that you only listened on Sunday evenings and that you wouldn't be up this late.
Well, I was already asleep. My wife was listening to you, and she woke me up.
Woke you up, eh?
What kind of job does he... Sunday evenings isn't the typical time when everyone can tune in and watch an all-night show.
Well, maybe he works at a bank.
Maybe. Oh. A bank that's not open on Mondays?
Well, banks are closed. I mean, now they are, but back in the day, it used to be banks would be open Saturday and closed Monday.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
All right. There's a lot of confusion. People misheard the fact. Some people thought it was
I
50.
think that's the way the banks used to be. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I remember from a lot of my life that was the deal. You never go to a bank on Monday. Yeah.
You might be right about that. You might be right about that. I think that the credit union that I was I think they weren't open on the weekends. But it may not, those aren't real banks. They're kind of like banks, but that's a whole different. Mennonites didn't trust proper banks. The credit unions are the closest.
They'll get you.
Yep.
Also, Sage Ohio mentioned Northern Exposure, which is one of my favorite shows of all time. I used to really love that show.
The yards in that you crawled. It wasn't. It was about, according to the facts, 50 feet, correct?
Right.
Now,
this thicket was, I would say about 50 feet wide by 150 feet long. It was in a draw or ravine or whatever you want to call it, and you could not see down into it, but there was no leaves, so you could see what was in front of you.
all right, let me take...
He was out there hunting. What was he hoping to shoot in this thicket?
Well, no, to be fair, so that's not where they were hunting. They shot the Bigfoot a bunch of times and lost it, and they came back the next day and followed the blood trail under the light of the sun to this thicket because they were hunting with spotlights, which is a cheap ass way to hunt.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
back before this if I can. The only part, and you may have heard me or your wife may have heard me mention this, that I had a hard time was that the first shots that were taken apparently were taken at night from about 100 yards.
Right.
And I take it what you had in your sights was a biped of some sort up on two legs, right?
Right. Well, when we first seen...
That's a really good point.
Yeah. This would have looked like some guy walking around and you
That's
just
right.
opened up on him.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
A guy in a fur coat and a
Yep.
Bigfoot
A very hairy man.
from 100 yards at night. Yeah, that's
what it
no wonder he needs a legal team. This guy may have just shot somebody for a coat.
was. We seen the eyes. It was basically reddish. At first, we thought it could be a deer. The eyes were similar, and as we got closer, it was.
From 100 yards, Dave, they noticed that it had red eyes.
Yeah, might be a deer. One of those 7-foot tall bipedal deer.
One of
Like
my
you did.
eyes, I scratched my eye this weekend, and one of my eyes is a little red. Like, I mean, I better be careful.
Well, I mean, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but you're not 7 feet tall, so you'll probably be okay.
Okay, fair enough. Just as
Yeah.
long as I don't wear my fur coat.
Stick away from plum thickets.
Probably, I assumed it was in a crouch or kneeling position. And as we got closer, we came around a bend in the road that went into this flat area that run alongside the river, and it was a plowed field. And we were able to see as we got closer when we hit the lights. The pickup lights hit it first, brought the spotlights on it. We're using 500,000 candle watt quartz beam lights.
Wow.
Back in 1973, we did this basically professionally because we were hunting coyotes, bobcats, coons, that sort of thing, because they were bringing a lot of money.
I've got you.
And as we come around, like I said, when the lights first hit it, we thought that it was a deer with the eyes. And as we got closer, we could see it was something crouched, and when we stopped the pickup, it stood up.
All right, so at first it was crouched down on all fours.
I wouldn't say it was on all fours.
Or you mean kind of crouched down like you...
kneeling or something.
All
to
right,
that
I've got you.
extent.
I've got you. Mm-hmm.
So Art gave him an out. He's like, "Oh, you may have thought it was an animal because it was on all fours."
All fours, yeah.
And the guy's not even taking the win on that.
Yeah.
No.
No.
He's just
Down on his
crouched
knees.
down.
Yeah.
And so then, as you got closer, it reared up. It got up.
Right. And
How much detail could you make out of this thing?
Oh,
All right, Dave.
That's a good joke.
It's for you.
Bigfoot and a guy in a fur coat walk into a bar. So I shot them both because you can't be too careful. You're right, Timothy.
But
You're right.
and it's okay
Both
because
are undesirables. Not
the vast
kind of
legal team over at the Bigfoot Society, they got your back.
Yeah. They're from their helicopters. They
That's
can,
right. They got helicopter money over
they can
there.
drop briefs from above. You're gonna.
We're gonna- we can't give you a lawyer, but we will drop leaflets near the courthouse.
I don't have flood
point-
lights, but I do have the flood. I mean, is that?
when we throw the scopes on it, we could tell what it was. I mean, there was no doubt in our mind. Bird Dog and myself both knew immediately what it was, that it was a Bigfoot because the hair, the outline, the human form, but it was so hard to...
Did you think it might be a human? Yeah. We shot a hippie. We shot two hippies out in the...
Shot two hippies. Yeah.
The excitement, the adrenaline at that point was pumping like you wouldn't believe.
No, I'd believe it.
And I laid my rifle out my window, and he come across the top of the cab with his, and we...
So they're shooting with lights and they're hunting from inside a truck. These guys are...
This is classy.
Yeah.
This is, yeah.
I'm sure they had all the proper tags for this too.
I don't know this for a fact, but I did read the description of the episode somewhere. I feel like that there will be hunters calling in who may or may not be fans of the etiquette that happens here.
Yeah. That's Oh, there's a question for you here, Paul. Should I read it? This is someone clearly asking you an issue question for
Okay.
your channel. Matt Murdoch asks, I cannot find your vid on the case for miracles.
All right, well, we're going to fix... Hold on.
Should we keep playing while you do
No,
this, or no?
we're doing it right now. So, Case for
We're
Miracles.
doing, there we go. Everybody can watch.
Yeah, we're going to look. Oh, where is Lee Strobel? All right, this isn't as good a TV as I was hoping.
Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da.
All right, I'll find it and then we'll put it on the screen. Let's keep going.
Both
Timothy Hartman
fired
adds,
simultaneously.
Uh-oh.
after all, Esau was a hairy man.
Good point.
Luckily for him, hunting rifles hadn't been invented yet. Neither had Alabama, so he's probably okay.
I mean, that's the way we did it when we hit coats. Whichever one side, one of us fire out the driver's side or the window, and the other one would come across the cab, and we both fired. And we fired instantly. He was using a 300 Weatherby, which is 300 Magnum.
Mm-hmm.
I was using the 243.
Okay.
He was shooting I believe either 280. I believe it was a 280 grain bullet, and I was firing a 125 grain.
I figured it out, Dave.
Yes.
So I was in a debate this week. I had a debate with Dr.
You did,
Jonathan McClatchy on the resurrection.
Yeah, you told me about that a little. Yep.
And he mentioned Lee Strobel's book about Case for Miracles. And I said, look for my response. And I misspoke. It's Case for Heaven, but it is about miracles. So,
Ah.
yeah, go for it's the
And
Case
Shannon
for
just
Heaven is
helpfully
dismissed.
pasted the link. I assume that's the link, and Shannon's not just randomly pasting.
All right, fair enough, good enough.
YouTube
so thank
links.
you for the super chat, and by me making my content difficult to find, I was able to.
You were able to make $2.
So I appreciate you. All right, back to.
So Matt, you are reinforcing all of the wrong habits. Yeah.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah,
If
you're
you're
not
dis-
wrong, Raina. That
If
bullet
you're
is-
disciplining children or dogs, you've done the wrong thing. But
Bullet. And we both fired. He fell over. I mean, it just not really fell over, like he was knocked over. I'm assuming the 300 is what did that. We thought he was down. As he come back up,
Okay, I'm not an expert with guns. I know something about them, but I take it these are of a caliber and velocity that would bring down any normal animal, right?
the 300 bring anything down in northern United States and North America.
Okay,
The 243, no, it's not. It's more of a varmint weapon.
all right.
But the 300, I mean,
did you say varmint weapon?
He did.
It's
He
a
did say
varmint.
varmint.
All right.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that since the last time I watched Bugs Bunny.
Well, that's what you need your bird dogs for.
you could probably bring down an elephant with it.
Okay.
It's probably the most powerful rifle there is in this part of the world outside of an elephant gun. And
Yeah, Roger makes an excellent point.
Thank you, Roger, for super chat for $10. People who try to find holes in a CTC's guest story, maybe taking skepticism to a place it should not. All right, well, I think we should all be skeptical of the guests, and you should be skeptical of us. What credentials do Dave and I have? Exactly, and credentials
have
don't
this.
much matter.
Certificate of ordination from the Church of Latter-day Dude. So, boom.
Boom.
What diplomas do you have within arm's reach, Paul?
Nothing. I got nothing.
Exactly.
I have a big bottle
And yet,
of rum in.
the bank will give him a mortgage, and I rent. What's
I have a big bottle of rum in
wrong
arm's
with
reach.
America?
That's pretty much what I got.
That's pretty good.
All right, off we go.
And, the animal got up, stood on his hind feet, started to run away from us, and we fired again, and again it was just like something pushed him down. We knocked him down, and again we thought he wasn't going to get up, and we
Bullet, Hick. Sorry, did I say that out loud? Thank
opened our
Dr.
doors. I did, and stepped outside, and Bird Dog come around the front, and he jumped up and he took off again, and this is when we fired the third time, and we hit him again because he kind of lurched forward, but he was further enough out that he went across. He hit the fence and it just rolled across the fence, and he got down into the river there, and he was gone.
Now, this was all at about what time of night?
I would say probably about 2:30.
2:30 in the morning. All right. Mm-hmm. So that was at the end of what occurred that night.
Right. We didn't do any more looking for him that night because
No more
this
night
thing is
hunting
bigger
with
than both.
lights.
What kind of night hunter is that a thing? Night hunters, would you hit a deer? By hit, I mean you'd shoot a deer, you'd shoot a bear, and you're like, let's come get back in the morning? That doesn't sound right.
I mean, I can see like if it legitimately gets away, it'd be like, well, it's too hard to, especially if you're used to
I guess if
shooting
it gets
light from your
away,
truck.
okay.
It would be very, very hard to track an animal at night. Yes.
Of us put together nearly.
Yeah, I wouldn't go in there.
And we knew that he was hit. We knew that he was hit bad. And so...
You figured he wouldn't go very far.
No, he's not going to go very far.
So...
I mean, been hit at least 3 times or 4 by both weapons. He's not going very far.
Right, and he didn't. You came back when the next day, roughly?
Oh, we didn't even go to sleep. We just kind of drove around until sunlight.
I see.
And I would say probably 7:30, 8. We arrived back over there. We picked up the blood trail. Bird Dog was a tracker in Vietnam. It was very easy for him to follow the trail.
Is Bird Dog his friend?
Yeah, Bird Dog's his buddy. They were in
Okay.
the NAM together.
I misunderstood. I thought he literally had a bird dog with him. All right.
I think he did. Now that I'm thinking back, like he referred to him as me and Bird Dog were blah blah. So I could
All
see.
right.
Yeah.
So it's Bugs and Bird Dog.
Bugs and Bird Dog
Perfect.
coming
And
soon.
we went down, I imagine about a half a mile, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Come up on the thicket, and that was when we went in after it.
All right. You're the guy, you flipped a coin to see who would go in odd man out, right?
Yeah, I never was very lucky.
So in you go with a 44 Magnum.
Right.
And you got about 50 feet in and found what?
Well, as I was going,
I feel like if whatever you put 3 shots into
Yeah,
the night before,
massive
does-
shots. Yeah.
does the 44 Magnum, is that going to bring it down if they're angry at you now?
I mean, 44 Magnum's a really, really big gun.
Okay.
that is legitimate.
All right.
maybe.
So you're going to kill a wounded animal with it. Fair enough.
Yeah,
I'm a Mennonite boy.
we're getting a lot of Yosemite Sam references in chat, and I love it.
Perfect.
You can do
Yeah.
So correct me if I'm shockingly ignorant, but for like your channel subscribers, you can have like little custom emotes and stuff that they can get, right? Like the black box and
Yeah, that's right. The black box. Yep.
feel like I don't know if there's a limit to how many you could do. We can have one for each memorable episode. Like you should have. Like,
I maybe should because there is a
emoji.
limit,
You can have
but
a little Yosemite Sam emoji for this one that you could have in there, and
that would be good. Yeah. And
people who
like some
know.
kids-
If you don't know, people are like, "Why is all this Yosemite Sam there?" It's like, well, I guess you're gonna have to ask Bird Dog about it.
I feel like the black box could theoretically be Mel's hole.
I mean, it's yeah. Well, there's also there's a hole.
That's right.
I was scared, to be honest with you, but I just, I never suspected 2 of them. I got in, and the sound that this thing made as it come up at me,
What was that sound? You've heard me play, I assume.
nothing like what you play.
Nothing like what I play.
Nothing like. It
All
was
right.
more of a scream.
A scream.
I mean, a woman can't scream the squealing sound the way this thing screamed. And it just put chills down your spine. But I seen it move. I seen it coming toward me.
Mm-hmm.
And
I just keep on saying saw. It's not seen. It's saw. I saw it. I saw it.
That is to say, I've seen it.
it was on all 4s coming toward me. And
Yeah. For those speculating in the chat, I don't think they have. I think did he say that this shooting
No,
happened?
he
in
purposely
Washington?
did not reveal where
Yeah.
he comes from.
No, he did.
From
but
my
did
2
he-
cents, this sounds.
But did he
very
say
much-
where? Did he say where the shooting happened? Because that's
No.
not necessarily okay.
We have not gotten
Fair
any
enough. All right.
locations at all. I mean, it definitely sounds like south somewhere,
Gotcha.
but just from
fired, and the 44, I'm shooting a 240 grain hollow point with an overcharge. Literally knocked that thing back about 3 or 4 feet. It got up and it come after me again, and I fired again. It did it 3 times that way. And the 4th time, it stood completely up. And when it did, Bird Dog and my other buddy cut loose on it, and they went through the head.
All right, I take it the thicket was low.
All right. So there's Bird Dog and Bugs and his other buddies.
His other buddy.
My new problem here is, how does flipping a coin tell you who goes in the thicket when there's 3 people?
I don't know. They tossed
Okay.
it. Maybe they played Ride the Bus or numbers. That's
Feels
I
like
don't
it feels like Rochambeau or something is going to be better on this one. Whatever.
Enough so that when this creature stood up all the way,
Alternate
it
theory,
was
Paul.
standing high enough.
Yes.
All of this is made up, and the details don't add up because none of this is true.
So, fun fact, that was the exact argument I made during my resurrection debate.
Okay, yeah. There we go.
If it was good enough for me then, it should be good enough for me now. But Dave, this is eyewitness testimony. I don't think you understand how reliable eyewitness testimony is.
I see. Well,
Especially this, just like the Gospels, it's several decades later.
I know the police put a huge stock in it.
So they could get a shot
Shanty,
at it.
This sounds like
Right.
Alabama.
It's probably a
to me as well.
plum thicket. I imagine probably 5-6 foot tall,
Okay.
and something to that extent. Well, it dropped, and
I thought the female was 7 feet tall and the male was 6 feet tall.
No, the male was 7.5 feet tall. The female was 7 foot tall.
What did he just say was 6 feet tall?
The thicket was 6 feet tall,
Oh, the thicket. Okay.
which is why when they stood up in the thicket, his friends, because Art was asking, because he had the same question I did. Wait a minute. So if you crawled in this thicket, how were your friends able to shoot this thing after you had to crawl 50 feet to get to it? And he's like, well, the thicket was only 6 feet tall. So when it stood up, I guess you could shoot it in the
So
head.
you get through the top 2 feet, his head over his shoulders.
I mean, if you're going to shoot somebody, the head's a good place to do
Yeah.
it.
didn't make no more sounds, and I got closer, and I seen it wasn't breathing, so I knew it was gone. And about another probably 10 foot on the other side of it, I seen the other one laying there. And so it took all 3 of us to drag them out. They were that heavy. And then when we examined them, we got scared because the organs, everything, it was just like a human body with hair on it.
Oh, that was going to be my question.
I guess they shot it full of enough holes that they could see the organs.
They might have skinned it. Like, I mean, I don't know. They might have field dressed the
Okay.
thing.
That's right. Try to find the tender bits. Yep.
Yeah.
was covered with hair,
Right. Had a kind of a brownish red hair.
brownish red, and you estimated the weight. I think the male about 350 pounds, the female about 300, huh?
Something in that neighborhood.
And both of them over 7 feet.
Well, at least. They were, I can promise you that they were at least 7 foot tall. They could have even been taller.
No clothing, right?
No clothing.
The head looking half human.
I don't know how to really explain it.
Best you can.
It had a nose similar to a human's nose, but the mouth similar to an ape. The eyes, half human, half ape looking. It had a large, protruding type forehead, whereas ours, kind of comes almost down on your eyes. This one hung probably half an inch or so out more so than ours would.
Did it have a neck?
Short neck,
Very short, huh?
probably, if I remember right, maybe 3 inches.
That's not much of a neck.
I'll tell you the best way to describe.
I just love how Art's just, we're going with this.
Yep.
Here we go.
Yep.
Not much of, he's not asking the kind of questions we're asking. He's just, that's not much of a neck.
Yep. He's trying to highlight the things that this guy's going to be able to answer comfortably.
The way they look from the backside, you've seen weightlifters where they don't have no neck and it just goes all up into muscles.
Yeah, sure.
That's the way it looked.
No, like a no-necked NFL player.
Right.
Well, look, I can imagine your fear. I mean, what did you guys do when you finally got the bodies? You dragged them out. You looked at them. What was the conversation like?
Well, we started talking about what are we going to do? Should we notify somebody or should we bury these suckers or what?
Right.
And we finally come to the conclusion that we might go to prison. And so we decided, hey, let's put these suckers in a hole. And we buried them, and then covered it where nobody'd ever know they'd been buried there.
All right, well, I'm not an attorney, but from what you've told me, you didn't commit murder. I mean, you were hunting, and clearly, I think, if your description is even close to accurate, you did not kill what we think of as human beings. So you guys, you sat around, you talked about it.
Okay. This is bad legal advice.
Well, he did say he's not an attorney.
Clearly, you didn't commit murder.
Yeah.
Well, what you thinking? First of all, you were hunting. You definitely can commit murder while you're hunting.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, like that's the thing you can do. If indeed they accidentally shot humans, they definitely did commit murder.
Yeah.
And also, murder has no statute of limitations.
Nope.
So, yeah, this is problematic. All right.
Figured,
I mean,
look,
best case, it's poaching.
I guess so.
could get charged with something. So let's bury our mistake, I guess, or bury our. Did you consider it a mistake at that point?
I don't know what I considered it. I just being cautious is more than anything. We didn't know what would happen or what would go on, and it was just better that we just bury it. We took photographs.
Oh, that's the other question. You took, it says here, 10 Polaroid photographs.
Right.
Do you have those?
I don't have my 3. They burned in my house, burned in 1979. My friends still.
Dave, darn
Yep.
it. His Polaroids burned down with his house.
Well, but so here's the thing, though. He only had 3 of them. He said, because they spread them. There's 10. There were 10 in total. He only had 3. So his 3 burned with his house in 1959. So this is This is post Vietnam War, pre 1959. So that actually narrows it down.
All right.
Quite specifically time wise. But then presumably there's 7 more of these Polaroids in the hands of Bird Dog and
And
you
his
know, I'm going to
buddy.
just call him. I'm going to call him.
It should be
it's gotta
B
be
sounding.
Billy?
It should be
Gotta be
alliteration. We
Bill.
got Bugs
We got
and Bird
Bugsy,
Dog
Bird
and
Dog
Buddy.
and Billy.
Buddy.
Buddy's better. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's the other fun thing, of course. You know, this with this radio show, when people just claim to have a photograph, there's really not much that the radio audience can do to feel like that. So sometimes they would fax in the photo to Art, but all Art could do is say, "Yeah, that's the photo I'm describing." Someone has faxed me a photo to describe the same thing.
Yep.
Radio is not good for showing the receipts.
No.
have theirs.
All right.
So they still 7 photographs out there somewhere.
So you feel you could return to the area, the site where these creatures are buried.
I know exactly where they're buried.
Your only request is that you would have assistance if it came to legal trouble. Is that correct?
Well, I don't want to go to jail.
Well, it's been a long time. You're coming forward now.
This is what I said. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
You're not going to jail.
What made you decide to come forward? I mean, even halfway
I'd
forward.
never told no one except my wife, and I told her about this probably a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I guess the basic reason, I used to own every kind of weapon there was. Been an ex-Marine, you know, what the heck. But after that happened, I don't even own a weapon anymore. It did something to me.
That makes sense.
And I just, I don't know, I was listening to y'all talking the other night.
Did we maybe mishear? Was this maybe 79, not 59?
Or 60, could have been 69 or 79. It must have been, because yes, that is before the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
Or alternate theory, all of this is
Don't
made
you
up,
dare. Don't you dare with this. It may not have happened.
and the facts are getting confused.
So he told his wife a year ago. So when this was recorded in 96. So in 95.
Spooky bed hair. Yeah.
Yeah, so in 95, but even if it happened in 79, that's the most generous date we can give him. So for like 15 years, he didn't own guns, and then decided, oh, maybe my wife's wondered why I don't have guns for the last 15 years.
79 was when his house burnt down. He hasn't said when he shot the
Okay.
Bigfoot.
So, but before that, because the Polaroids were in the house,
Yeah.
so there's still many years here where his wife would want an explanation as to why he gave up weapons. Something's not adding up here.
I'm going to go ahead and guess CIA mind experiments.
Everybody,
Or
Or
maybe his wife isn't
alternate
very interested
theory.
in his life. Maybe this is marital problems that she's just, hey honey, I used to be a Marine and then I went 10 years and you didn't even notice when I wasn't shooting the guns.
yeah. Well,
Get some counseling, my friend. Bugs, get thee to counseling.
was kind of laughing about, Bigfoot. Hey, it's real, buddy.
All right, look.
Timothy Harmon says, not a real Marine. We don't say ex-Marine. There's no such thing as an ex-Marine.
they say former Marine. He is right.
Yep. So we may have caught him between this and the thicket. And when he told his wife.
Yeah. So it was probably a slip of the tongue. Or alternate theory. He's lying and all of this is made up.
You can't just send off a fax. A fax. Look, facts.
It's right there. In
FAX
fact.
equals fact. FATC. You can't put non-facts on facts. That's not the way it works. There was that little dial tone up front. That was like a lie detector.
Is that what it was? Maybe you got bird dog to do it.
The screeching. I wonder if when you shoot a Bigfoot, does he screech like a fax machine sound? Because it was unlike a woman screaming.
What?
It was
I guess, yeah.
it was unlike a woman screaming. So that squeal of a fax machine is maybe, yeah.
Here's what I propose to do. I will, with your permission, get you a telephone number that you can call if you want to. Now, I'm the only one who knows how to get hold of you right now.
And you keep it that way.
And I'll keep it that way, I promise. What I will do is I'll contact the people at the Bigfoot Project. And if you want to proceed, I will then give you their number, and you can call them and take it a step at a time with them. How does that sound?
Well, that sounds fine, but I'll tell you, I still have to talk to my other two friends. They no longer live here. One of them, let's put it this way: if I told you where the other one
don't tell me.
Bird Dog and Buddy can't be happy at this moment that Bugs is just sending out faxes about their murder cover-up.
I wasn't reading. So I got a text here from one of my good friends who is obviously watching the show way back when you asked, how do you do a coin toss
Yeah.
when you have three guys? He said, well, one guy has the coin, so he doesn't have to go in the bush.
I see.
Yeah. As always, the guy with the coin makes the rules.
The one with the money. That's right.
Yeah.
If you got the money, you make the rules. That's
Capitalism, am I right?
But they no longer live in this town.
Well, if you know how to contact them, why don't you go ahead and do that and see if they feel the same way you do or not, and we'll proceed from there. Bugs.
But it'll have to be unanimous with all of us. All three of us will have to agree to it.
I understand. I appreciate your coming forward. I'm sure you'll hear some comment about it, and I appreciate your telling the story. So all I can tell you is I will protect you.
I will tell you this much, Art. The day I die, I will have a map where it's at.
So
maybe
I'm 51 years old now.
It's tricky to get, his other ex-Marine friends to agree to this. Or alternate theory.
Yes, Dave.
There were no other two friends, and all of this is made up. Just going to toss that out there as a possible. I enjoyed this because I can cast you now where you have to support ludicrous claims. And I can sit over here.
I'm on Team Bugs. This happened. It is just, no, I'm not.
You used to say in debate that it's the easiest side of the debate is actually the side you disagree with because you know where the holes are that you have
It's true.
to shore up. Yeah.
So I think that might have been the end of the. So I want people to know though that so there are future episodes. There are more episodes of Bugs. Bugs
Yeah.
also comes back on the show.
Yeah, so that was Bugs first, but we have more. We have now callers reacting to.
We have
Bugs.
hours.
Right? Yes,
We're not going to get to the end of it because
we'll
you
just
and I
go until
won't
we
make it
are.
that far. But there are now hours of people calling in, either to comment on Bugs, or to also just talk about UFOs because that's what the show did. All right, we got a $5 super chat.
Yes,
Read it out, Dave.
dad joke for Dave. Are you a coelacanth or a coelacant? Huh? I'm going to steal
Cheers.
that one. I'm going to steal that one if I'm ever talking to a paleontologist.
Yeah, this is the math I was trying to do too. So he's 51 in 1996.
Well, so we weren't too sure on the house burning. Like I thought I heard 59, which doesn't make any sense for Vietnam.
No, I thought I heard 79. That's why I was a little bit
So
confused.
maybe okay.
So let's just go. Let's just roll with that. That's the most generous date we can give him, I think, of
Right.
the ones we heard.
And would make sense for the Vietnam War. The years work out right.
In 90, if he was born in, so he was born in 45. Is that what's happening here? So 45 plus 51 is 96, right? So
Well, yeah.
So he's born in 45, so he would have been 34 when his house burned down.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So that's possible.
Yeah.
So
Fair enough. Okay. All right.
All right.
not going to last forever.
All right, sir. I've got to take off. Thank you very much, Bugs.
You're welcome.
Get a good night's sleep if you can. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi, this is Ron in Montana.
Hello, Ron.
I got a couple questions.
Yes, sir.
Why? My understanding on this guy with the Bigfoot issue is they were out at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
And when they first saw this, why are they hunting at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Well, they were hunting for money.
Oh.
They were actually out killing for money. If you listen,
All right.
did you listen?
I'll take your correction, and
There you go.
I always
I
appreciate constructive criticism.
Getting bits and pieces of it.
Okay.
My station drifts in and out.
Oh, I see. How did the tone of the story sound to you?
Well, it sounded realistic. I guess
what I
I'm
thought.
just concerned with the responsibility of these hunters. Shooting at something that they haven't identified kind of gives sportsmen a bad name.
Well, if you were out in the woods and you saw something down on its haunches and it was gigantic and hairy, I guess based on that much, I mean, that's not a human being in your estimation. So, you know,
Because all
No.
those hairy
No,
bipeds.
okay. So I'm going to speak up now. Like, as people, this guy is trying to go just for hunters in general. You don't just randomly shoot any animal you see. Where you don't go hunting at night with lights. B, this guy had way too powerful weapons for what they were going. He said before he was going, we're going for like coyotes and badgers and things. Like, what? You're taking freaking grizzly bear shooting rifles out for these things. And see, you don't just shoot every animal you see. We're like, well, there's something 100 yards away from it. Shoot it. It's anyways. Any actual hunter would be upset by what these people are doing.
Mortified.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're not trying to depopulate a section of forest of God's creatures where every time you go hunting for specific things, and you want to recognize and shoot those specific things. You don't shoot everything you see, because that is how
Right, and actually,
people and animals and things get hurt. And I mean, accidents do happen. And I actually even know some tragic stories of horrible things that have happened on hunting trips. That is why you don't do that. But
And around parts where I've lived in Canada, that you have a maybe you said this, and I was pouring my drink and I wasn't paying attention. The you have a license for a specific type of animal. Is that what were you saying that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, like there are animals that you do not need licenses to shoot. I mean, but like coyotes are an example. Like there's just a generic bounty on coyotes.
Sure.
Boars are a real problem now in our part of they're not native to here, but they've made their way here, and they're just an open, like you shoot as many boars as you can and bring it in, you get a reward for each one all year round.
But like around
like
here,
deer,
like if you want to shoot a moose, you have to have a tag
Yeah.
for a moose.
you have to get a tag for a moose. That it's population control. There's very specific tags for like you can shoot moose in this part of the country. You can't go
Right.
wherever you want and shoot a moose. You can shoot moose here, and there's so many moose that can be taken up, and or the various variety of deer or bears or blah 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 blah. Carry on.
Before you get to the super chat, did it also so they were hunting for? So were they basically mercenary hunters at this point? Like they were like someone literally hired them?
It sounded like, or they might be. I mean, I don't know what it was like in '96 and wherever this guy's from. If he was shooting coyotes and badgers and stuff, it might have just been like,
Oh, gotcha.
Like,
Yeah.
like the badgers are really bad for ranchers and stuff. They cause a lot of
Yeah.
issues. And
Fair
coyotes
enough.
are problematic.
That's not unreasonable, and no one cares if you're night hunting badgers with lights, I guess.
No, or coyotes.
Right.
It's still kind of a chintzy thing to do. The reason that worked, right? So like, you're not supposed to shoot out of a vehicle. That's another no
Right.
for when you shine, as you know, like you shine a light in a coyote or deer or any animals, they tend to freeze. They stare at
Right.
the light and stay, and then it makes it very easy to shoot them because they're not going to try and get away from you.
Right.
Yeah, they are like they say a deer in the headlights, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not very sportsmanlike. As this caller seems concerned about, less concerned about the two dead.
And if you
Bigfoots.
do that for like deer or something like that, that is you get in big trouble if you get caught. As I don't know if you're aware of this, Paul, like the penalties for breaking, like poaching or like doing illegal things when you're hunting tend to be stiff. They tend to be in like the tens of thousands of dollars.
Oh my, okay.
That they come down like the wrath of God every time they catch somebody, because it's like it's hard to catch somebody, and we want to set an example every time we do.
Right.
Like, this is you don't do. Yeah.
Fair enough. Savage Cobra Official writes, why is it that the sightings of Bigfoot and the like seem to correlate strongly with areas that have substance abuse problems? Well, maybe the Bigfoot really need help.
Yeah.
Maybe we have various privileges that the Bigfoot kind doesn't have.
Yeah. Sorry, Michael Smith made me laugh.
Oh well. Thank you, Thor Rasmussen, for being a member for 10 months.
That's
2 to go. I'm a little bit worried what happens in 2 months, but I guess.
Well, you move 2 steps up on the ziggurat of.
Oh, I see that. I guess what we really need is I got to make sure that the part 2 of the Mel's hold isn't until after that, so we keep them hanging on.
Always keep them wanting more. Well, there's probably going to be more than 2 parts of Mel's hole. So
that's true. There's 4 parts on the Mel's
there are
hole.
4 episodes.
There's at least 2 parts of Bugs the Bigfoot Hunter. We'll see.
It's a good question, Visanti. Good question.
I don't know what to think here, and I'm not sure how to proceed, but it sounds to me like they may have shot 2 Bigfoot.
Well, that's the impression I got. I guess I just don't see it as being very responsible sportsmen out there shooting at something that you haven't identified. It didn't sound like it was being a threat to them at the time.
Well,
thank you, the Rat Smith, for your $10 super chat. This reminds me of the CSI episode where a furry was shot on the road outside of city limits at night. That may have been based on this, for all we know. And a farmer was the culprit because he thought it was a coyote. Well, it probably wasn't based on this if it wasn't a Bigfoot, I guess. But
Well, no. But you can't say he thought it was a Bigfoot, because that would make you sound crazy. Someone did mention about people dressed as Wookiees going to a kinky Star Wars sex party in the forest at night. Yeah, at the thicket.
I noticed that because they spelled Wookiee wrong.
I don't remember. I didn't notice it.
I did, and it annoyed me. Style Guide, Lucasfilm boy, was like, that's spelled wrong.
That's not spelled right.
A lot of sportsmen, yeah, but sir, wait a minute. A lot of sportsmen take down game that is not a threat to them. That's
But they usually have a license about what they're shooting at.
yeah. Well, all of that aside, I mean that fine.
No.
Not
All that aside, that's kind of germane to the whole
All
situation.
that aside. Wait, what? Look, all this money was in this big metal box. I don't know. Did the bank put it there? Was it mine? Was it somebody's? All of that aside.
All that aside.
Yeah.
So, who shot them? The Nephilim? It's always the Nephilim.
It's always the Nephilim.
I feel like, no, we haven't gone back to the bingo card here for a little bit.
Well, it's because we've been talking about hunting rights and things. None of this is on the
It's true.
bingo cards.
So, but I feel like just the Nephilim in the super chat, although we don't want people to, no, we can't just go to super chat because then people will pay money
Paul,
to fill in their
you
own
know,
bingo cards.
I mean, I'm kind of okay with that because I like
Oh, I
money.
see. All right.
So, you know,
if you've got Nephilim in your bingo
get in
card,
touch
feel
with me,
free to.
Shorts.
I don't have it. Do you have that one? Oh yeah.
I don't have Nephilim. So I guess
All
Joe
right.
is paying to fill out his own card. Which,
Maybe.
you know, pay to play, I guess. We've become like
Okay.
the worst mobile games for your phone. You can just pay to win.
All right, so this caller's unhappy, and fair enough. He's unhappy
And
about
fair
the
enough,
bad
because
name.
he makes good.
Bad name for sportsmen.
Oh, Joe likes my
responsible.
watch.
Maybe not. I don't know. But I would think that if you saw something that was fully hairy, that your presumption, without clothes, your presumption certainly would be that it was not a human being. And I'm not going.
What if the fur was the clothes? Again,
Yeah,
the
if
Wookiee
it was-
costume thing.
If it looked like a 7-foot tall guy, like, 10 fingers and
Right.
toes, 2 eyes, nose, mouth. No, my assumption would be it wouldn't be this is a Bigfoot, or I would think this is like a guy in a costume or like,
Yep.
isn't that what everybody would think when you saw? Am I the crazy person here?
Also, and we shot the second one. Yep.
And then we went and shot the second one. Yeah.
So thank you, Phil Greeley. Please do the time traveler episodes. They are the best. So
They are on our list. We have
They're definitely on our list.
We have a short list of episodes we'd like to do, and the time traveler ones are on there. Yeah.
I liked when they have actually had. Oh, there's many time travel episodes. Definitely many.
Like the ones
liked-
where he opens a line where he's like
He opened the
call
line.
in
There's
if you
specifically
are-
a line. If you are
Yeah.
a time travel, you should call in.
That one, the vampire call in. I also like call in if you're a vampire. Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Very good.
Going to sit here and defend the morality of taking a shot, or of his taking the shot. Nor am I going to criticize it. What I wanted to get mostly now from y'all is a sense of the story. In other words, did you believe it? I happen to think it's true. I believe it. I think we've got somebody here who took down a couple of Bigfoot or something like a Bigfoot. First time caller line. You're on the air. Hello.
Hi, Art.
Hello.
I was listening to the story about the guy with that supposedly shot Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And with a couple.
Yep.
Supposedly, I don't like the ring of her voice.
I don't-
Supposedly.
Yeah. Art believes this
And,
guy, lady.
I do believe him because my father used to travel a lot. He was a truck driver, and he had told me one time that he thought there was an animal on the side of the road, which he thought was a deer that was crouched down. He's seen the eyes, like a deer with the headlights would hit the eyes. And then it got up and walked on its 2 feet, and it was around 7 foot tall. And matter of fact, from that day on, he was an avid Bigfoot fan. I mean, he, bought magazines and researched.
Okay, so a Bigfoot fan, Dave, someone who buys Bigfoot magazines,
Yes.
happened
which
to see
exist.
something at night,
There's as
and therefore,
Art
and
mentioned,
he attributed that to Bigfoot.
whole societies. This is my
What do we call that, Dave? What do we call?
a Bigfoot fan.
No, we call it confirmation bias, Dave.
Oh, I see. I thought we were trying to think of a clever name for Bigfoot.
No,
fans. Confirmation
I'm calling
bias.
this confirmation. If there's a thing that you really want to be true, and then you see
Yes.
evidence for it, I mean, the evidence may be correct, but you should need to be worried that the thing you want to be true, you may well have confirmation bias.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Also,
Okay,
oh,
I
here we
love
go.
this
There's
super
one
chat.
for you, you nerd.
Supposedly, during the filming of Blue Harvest, and we'll get back to that, they told Peter Mayhew not to wander far from the set in the woods for fear of this very situation happening.
Yeah. Hope
All right, I
everybody's
never
got
heard
a
that
few minutes
story.
now. Paul's going to be off on a tangent for a bit. Before you say that, Paul, I just want to say several times now the word deer, but the two people have described this as looking like a deer. I don't think these people have seen deer. I've seen a lot of deer.
Me too.
And I would never, I'm trying to imagine a scenario in which I would picture be like, oh, it stood up and it's a 7 foot tall man like thing. Not a deer at all.
No.
That's like, if they were like, I thought it was a bear, I'd be like, okay.
Yep. Because I've seen bear and
I've seen bears stand up.
And bears are kind of like a pear-shaped human and a bear.
Yeah.
In silhouette form would not be entirely dissimilar.
Like close enough that I could be like, I could see it. You'd be like, oh shit, that's a bear. Bang, 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 bang.
Exactly.
Oh wait, no, it was a huge Bigfooty thing. Not like, that's a deer. What? That's nothing about this. The bulk, everything, it would be totally, totally, totally wrong. But Blue Harvest, friend, I don't want to.
Blue Harvest. Since you brought it up, I'm going to get derailed. So Blue Harvest, as you can imagine, Dave, the most successful films of all time at that point were Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
And if you go out there and you say, hey, we're filming Star Wars 3, that is a good way to not get a good deal on anything, because everyone's like, oh, you got the Star Wars money.
Mm-hmm.
But also the fans at the time were wanting to, of course, wanting to find out, be on set and do all this kind of things. Biggest film of the time. So when Lucasfilm Incorporated went out to solicit for contracts for Return of the Jedi, they did so under the name Blue Harvest.
Mm-hmm.
And that way they could get better deals. And so that's a nice callback with the filming of Blue Harvest, because the call sheets and everything had Blue Harvest on them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spoilers were a thing for the first time ever.
I'm sorry, what was that?
That spoilers were things like for the people were trying to find
the spoilers were a thing for the first time. That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Because there weren't very many franchises that were like building worlds and building multiple film stories.
Although I have to call you out on something as a fellow lifelong Star Wars fan and go.
What was that?
Neither New Hope nor Empire Strikes Back were ever the most successful films of all time. Gone with the Wind.
At the time, and like Gone with the Wind, whatever.
I believe Gone with the Wind is still the most successful movie of all time.
Well, that's if you divide by ticket price, of course.
Yeah, or even adjust for, honestly, even if you just adjust for inflation, I think it is.
Yes, but in terms of absolute dollars.
In absolute dollars, no, it's not.
Yeah. Stupid Horror Energy writes, ride wife, life good. Wife fight back, kill wife, wife gone. Think about wife, regret.
That's a whole 3-arc story right there.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Dude. Yeah, I will, Shannon. I am going to call him out. This bullshit. Thinks he's so smart with his wavy hair. I could have hair if I wanted.
This is my debate haircut. I had an emergency.
It's not my
usual. It's not my usual.
It looks good.
person.
Legitimately, your hair is looking really, really good.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, Dave.
I mean, I feel like you should just, if you were gonna adopt a hairstyle, that'd be a good one. If you just
okay. All right. Well, normally my hair looks like however I woke up, and when I wake up tomorrow, it will not look like this.
No.
All right.
On his own a lot.
Sure. It would drive you to that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. The story just unfolded correctly, I thought. I'm not a hunter, so I can't judge that aspect
well, I'm not
of it.
a hunter either, but if you shot something like that was close to half human, and reasonably half ape, you would probably be react the same way they did too. I would think I'd be scared to death. I'd probably bury the thing too.
I know,
And
that's what I said the other night.
And coming forward, he has to prove himself now.
All right, Dave, this is hypothetical. Let's involve the audience. Everyone hypothetical with us here.
Yeah.
You are hunters. You have shot 2 bipedal, 7-foot-tall things.
Yeah.
You decide, as a group, the 3 of you, you got your bird dog and you got Buddy, you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You decide these ain't human. They're not human.
Yep.
You know. So, but what do you do, Dave? Do you bury them?
So if all this really happened,
Yeah, like if this really happened, it is you and me out there. We were shooting for bear. We were shooting for coyotes, and it's like it's 2 a.m. You're probably scared and confused. What's the right course of action?
I mean, I feel like you could make an awful lot of money, even if like if this is some Neanderthal or Bigfoot or something. Well, you might get in some trouble for this, but not murder trouble. And boy, you're going to be on a lot of talk shows. You're going to be able to sell a lot of books.
That's an excellent point. And I also think that you'd have... So I'm sure this has happened where hunters have accidentally shot humans.
Oh, yeah.
Who were not out wearing, who were in a weird area, not wearing an orange vest.
Yeah.
And at worst, they get charged probably for something like manslaughter or something, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So if you are reasonably confident, this is what I'm thinking. If you're reasonably confident it's not human, even if you're like, maybe there's a 20% chance it is human, we're not really in the wrong here, right? Like it's, or are they? I don't know.
I mean, you'd certainly be able to make an argument. Yeah. Like from a hunting standpoint, as I said, you're not really supposed to just shoot random animals if you don't know what
I
it is.
guess.
So you might be in some trouble there, but no, legally, there's probably, depending especially on what state you're in and stuff, there's probably a good argument that you didn't break any laws of any kind. Yeah.
Right. Like you're going to have to go down to the station and answer some questions. Like you're in for a long night.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I get it. I get the argument that it's just like, we're just going to bury this and pretend it never happened and carry on with our lives.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I guess maybe, no, Bigfoot mania was crazy. Well, we're saying this was pre-79. So Bigfoot,
Yeah.
I don't know when Bigfoot mania. No, because Bionic Man, Dave, do you remember the big Bionic Man?
I was not around when it was first
No,
on.
but the Sasquatch was routinely a bad guy on the Bionic Man.
But then they became like friends, didn't they? By the end,
Yes, they
somehow?
did. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But it was a thing. Like it was still it was a thing in the 70s.
But so like, if so like if you and me are hunting and we like legitimately thought that we had shot and killed Bigfoot,
Right.
while hunting coyotes, it might just be hey, like we might be in a lot of trouble for this or hated for the rest of our lives or something. So maybe like let's just.
Oh, I guess that's right. Because there was a time when people didn't understand a lot about how evolution worked and all that kind of stuff in a broad sense. And they're like, sure, there could be a population of 2 of this critter. Like, that's not actually how evolution works. But yeah, maybe these are the last 2 and the only 2 Bigfoot that exist, and we shot them both. Okay, that maybe you'd be yeah.
You might think to yourself, a lot of folks going to be real mad about this. So best that we just bury them here in this thicket and never talk about it again.
But instead, let's
Except on the radio.
Let's wait 15 years and fax a radio show about
Facts
it.
aren't fell. Or alternate theory. All of this is made up.
Don't you dare.
And Bugsy is a crazy, lonely person.
All right, so Timothy Harmon
We
for
got a
$2.
couple of
Thank
super
you.
chats.
An opportunity to use evil as a noun? No, because
Absolutely,
evil
which
is
it
not a
is.
noun.
Sure can be.
No,
Yeah.
it's not a person, place, or thing. And wait, there was some Sentinel apologetics. So Sentinel
it could be a
apologetics.
thing.
Hey,
Sorry,
buddy,
yep.
keep up the paleo babble debunking. So, Sentinel, I thought of you today because of Michael Heiser's passing, and so I tweeted about that. Condolences to his family. I know he was a hero of yours, so sorry about that. Sentinel Apologetics is from Australia. That's the Australian $2. I don't know how much that really is.
I believe that's $12 Canadian.
All right.
I'm pretty sure it isn't. I have no idea.
The Ratsmith for $2. Maybe Bugs is an alias for Dick Cheney. Maybe.
Well,
For those who remember that story where he shot his buddy.
yep.
What did I
Okay,
say?
well, what did you say?
No, Bionic Man is synonymous with $6 Million Man. That's how Bionic
Yeah.
Woman became a name. So Bionic Man was. I know the show was called
$6
$6
Million
Million
Man is the Bionic Man.
but
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Did I miss any more super chats? We got them all. Okay.
Nope, we got them all.
All right. Let's hear what the callers have to say.
Well, no,
If he
that's
follows up on it.
no, that's right. Thank you very much for the call. That's exactly right, and I might have done the same thing, and I might have taken the shot too. I don't know. I'm not a hunter. I guess I wouldn't have because I wouldn't be out there hunting. But I don't know. To me, the story had, layman me, it had the ring of truth to it. Now, what I would like to hear from is some hunters. I mean, you guys speak the language. Was this guy, did he seem to be on the level to you? Sure does make me feel in the middle of this. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Who's this?
Who are you expecting?
Art Bell?
Bingo.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. Turn your radio off.
I already turned it off, sir.
So we mentioned this often, but there were no call screeners for Art's show.
No. Not at this time, anyways. Much later on, he did eventually add them. But
Hello, who are you expecting? That's
Yeah.
great.
yeah.
That's good.
I'd never believe I would get on the air. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Anyway, you listened to the story that man told, didn't you?
Yeah.
And?
Well, I think it's 100% believable.
You do, huh?
Yeah.
Have you ever done any hunting?
No, but I got a friend that does, and I'm gonna tell him about it. I'm gonna tell him about it tomorrow.
All right.
What do you think?
All right. Thank you very much. We'll look forward to that.
So I'm gonna call into the show. I don't know anything about hunting. I'm gonna tell Art that I'm gonna talk to my buddy about this tomorrow.
Yeah. This is why real radio shows have call
That's why we have callers. Even on internet shows we have call screeners because that might have been a waste of everyone's time. I'm not sure, Dave.
Yeah. Well,
I wanna hear from
on the plus side, there's a reference to Earthworm Jim in the chat.
Oh, that's good.
Earthworm Jim.
Hunters. That's one of the only ways I can quantify this story. I'm just a layperson in this area, and to me, it sounded legit. But I'd like to hear from some hunters. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Oh, my name's Paul,
Hi, Paul.
and I'd like to read
Hi,
you
Paul.
something here.
Read me. Please don't. What does it concern?
Oh, well, it's civil rights.
Civil rights?
Yeah.
You want to read us our civil rights?
Well, it's kind of like it's a law that enforces our civil rights.
It's a law that enforces our civil rights.
Yeah.
Why would you want to read this to us?
Well, let the people know that they have
Civil rights.
right to enforce a law that will keep people from taking their civil rights.
A law that will. Well, I thought that was the Bill of Rights.
Well, it's true, but this is out of the law book's Crime and Punishment.
Uh-huh. Well,
Sorry,
thank you
federal
very much, but we don't read on the air. If you want to have a discussion about something, you're welcome to do it. But I have found generally, when people read on the air, it just doesn't work out. I think most people are aware of what rights they have. As a matter of fact, people are very aware of the rights they have, not so aware of the responsibilities that should come with them. First-time caller line, you're on.
Again,
Wait, Art.
so I didn't screen this, so as we know, some of the calls are related, some are not.
But I'm loving this because this is a fantastic slice of what goes.
It is.
But also
It is.
just like, I want to read something. He's like, no, please don't.
We don't read on the radio.
All right. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Well, cool. We're not really talking about civil rights, and everybody knows.
On the
it.
air.
Art, how you doing?
I'm okay.
I got a little complaint here. I don't think you was on Sunday night here. I'm in Seattle. This is Jim.
Well, Jim, when they have sports or something else, it.
I waited in the call queue
Yeah.
to complain that you weren't on Sunday in Seattle. And what's up with you, Art? for not being on the air. I love this.
Well, it's like it's local stations, man. If there's local sports preempting it, I don't know what to tell you. Whoa, Timothy Harmon with a very generous super chat.
You can
Should
read
I
this one,
it?
Dave.
Want to read it? Shannon, Johnny is a joker. He's a bird. A very funny joker. He's a bird. But when he jokes my honey, he's a dog. His joking ain't so funny. What a dog. Johnny is a joker that's trying to steal my honey. He's a bird dog. He's a bird dog.
Cheers to you, Timothy. That's
anyone who wants to quote song lyrics, just throw
that's
them in
some
there.
Weird Al Yankovic level lyric replacement. Did you watch the Weird Al Yankovic movie, Dave?
Yes, I did.
I think we talked about it. You and I privately.
Not on channel we did, but we talked about it a little bit.
Yes.
I did overall. I did enjoy it and would recommend it.
Yeah, absolutely. I just love that everyone was dumbfounded. You can't just change lyrics. No one's. That's the conceit to the film is that people are flabbergasted the lyrics can be changed.
Yeah.
Offsets it. So
I
that
want to know
happens.
what Shannon has a response to the Johnny is a Joker question.
That's the response.
I see there. Yes, question mark. Wow.
On here, but it was a rerun.
A rerun of what?
Of one of your old shows. Plus, you're on two stations at the same time. It's real confusing.
We know. We're on KVI and Como.
Yeah.
Well, at 1 o'clock in the morning during the week, we switch over to Como.
I think you start at 11 o'clock on both channels, don't you?
Well, maybe that's right. Now, maybe they have changed that. I'm not exactly sure. Thank you very much. No, I think it was live. When we are live, they carry us live. And then, of course, on the weekends, there are some repeats. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Art.
I love that call.
Yeah.
I'm calling to complain. First of all, you weren't on, but then also sometimes you're on twice, and that's confusing.
Well, it sounded like the caller was saying it's like the show starts on one station and ends on another. But maybe I don't know. There you go. Either way, keep up.
Yes.
Thoroughly enjoyed your book.
I beg your pardon. Oh, my book. You liked it, huh?
Yeah, I did.
Good. I'm glad.
Oh. It's the new Mother Nature. She's taken over.
What's the new Mother Nature?
The one that's going to get us all.
Going to get us all?
Yeah.
Doomsday? The end
we
of
got
the
a long time for that.
The end of the line?
We got a long time for that.
Oh, good.
We're all worrying for nothing.
All right. Thank you. Strange.
Did we get any?
Oh, I guess we should look here. What have I got on mine?
Did we get anything off our bingo cards here?
I don't think I have anything yet. Certainly don't have any callers calling to complain about.
So what's the difference, Dave? A mythological creature? I guess a cryptid isn't a mythological creature per se.
Not necessarily. No. I mean, it kind of is. It's sort of like a circle or a square and rectangle thing. Like cryptids are generally mythological creatures, but a mythological creature isn't necessarily a cryptid.
Yeah.
Right? Like a kraken or a dragon is a mythological creature, but they're not cryptids because nobody thinks these things still live in the world somewhere today. Cryptids are creatures that people still believe exist in our world somewhere today, or like so Bigfoot would be one. Loch Ness monster.
So I have AI/singularity now. As you know, Dave, I had to use AI to remove some music.
You did.
Do I get to count off my AI?
I mean, I feel like we just inched a little closer to the singularity right there. So
all right,
absolutely,
fair
you
enough.
should. Yeah.
So there was Pink Floyd music playing throughout the start of when he was reading the facts.
Yes, I believe it was time.
And YouTube don't like that.
Nope.
So I had to get that cleaned up.
Get us.
Yep. All right, back to the calls.
Time caller line, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Art.
First time
Yes.
Oh, sorry about that. Just wanted to call about this Bigfoot thing.
What do you think?
Well, I have a hard time believing. I have to agree with the gentleman who called in and said it was giving sportsmen a bad name shooting what they weren't sure they were at.
Yeah, but that is not the issue. The issue is whether or not.
Well, I mean, that's what's putting doubt in my mind. If these all are the hunters they claim to be, I don't believe they would have shot something without identifying it first. So that throws the.
But wait a minute now. He did identify it to the degree that it was in a crouch. It had a totally hairy body and didn't look fully human. Now that's pretty animal.
No, there's no animals crouch. I mean, the great apes crouch, but
Yeah.
I feel like if you're in, we don't know what state he was in, but any state in the United States, if you see a great ape, maybe don't shoot it.
Yeah. Yeah. He's right. This is a point that any actual hunter would make. Like,
To me.
Okay, well, I came into the story late, so if you could maybe clarify.
Oh, I see. So you didn't hear it.
Yeah, if you could maybe clarify one. I heard the last part of his call.
Oh, all right. Well, then thank you for the call, but obviously you're not going to be able to reasonably comment on it. I swear I'd play it back.
I love this. This is I get these comments on YouTube. I didn't watch your video, but the title and the thumbnail made me feel this way, so I'm going to comment on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I had the ability to do that, I should have recorded it so I could do exactly that. Darn. Well, we do have it, of course, at the network, and it could be played back from there, but not tonight as the recording continues. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
This is Mike from Flint.
Hello, Mike.
Michigan.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was. Well, I'm going to reserve comment on the Bigfoot thing till I hear a little more. But I was calling. This is kind of a strange story that I read in one of the one of the tabloids, but it was sort of off the wall that there is an element of truth to it, I think, because it involves. Were you familiar with the '60s rock band Iron Butterfly?
Sure.
I don't know if maybe some of your listeners have heard this, but like their bass player after the group.
All right, where is this going? Do you have a prediction, Dave? Where do you think this? Anyone in the chat? We got?
I don't know. I
got the rock band Iron Maiden.
I know Iron Butterfly.
Iron
not
Butterfly.
Iron Maiden. Yeah.
In the
Who I believe
tabloids.
wrote in the God of Davida. I think that's their big
Okay.
hit.
All right. Iron Butterfly. Something in the tabloid. 2 in the chat has a guess. So what's going to be happening? Meanwhile, Melody sent a super chat. Thank you, Melody Kate.
Oh.
I spent decades listening to Art Bell into the midnight hours, and now I have the pleasure of listening with 2 fine gentlemen late into the night. Time for a drink. Well, when you're done listening to those 2 fine gentlemen talk about it, we have a show.
We have a show that does
well.
the exact same thing, Melody. You should come check it out.
Yeah, so
you want to
we don't have fine
jackasses
gentlemen, but
talk about Art Bell. But I love this though, because this is exactly when we were talking about this idea. This is it. It's that we used to love Art Bell.
Yep.
We loved Art Bell. We would listen to it and loved it. We're just like, we should throw this on the internet and let other reminisce about it, but also introduce art to people who've never ever heard or know that this was a thing that happened. Yeah. Little Simpsons reference there, Darren Marks. Don't think I didn't catch that.
Broke up or whatever, was some sort of like a computer wizard, and evidently just a couple of years ago, I guess he made quite a decent amount of money. A couple of years ago, according to this article, he came upon worked out some sort of program on this computer, some sort of.
I feel like I preemptively checked off my AI spot. I probably am going to be able to get it here.
Turns out you jumped the gun. Yeah.
Big deal. They didn't really explain it too well. I'm hoping maybe somebody out there will know, but evidently it involved faster. This is what it said: faster than light communication, which is pretty bizarre. Faster than light anything is pretty bizarre. But then evidently now the guy is missing. He's that was the main crux of the story.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, Shannon keeps whining about not having a channel membership. Can someone please just buy her a channel membership?
That's right. Someone needs to
get flooded with this. Secondly, I love the idea that somehow I programmed a computer so hard that we cannot communicate.
That it's now faster than light.
Yeah. I Fortran so good, so good. But now my AOL instant messages go back in time. Yeah.
I don't know. Incorrect science uses evidence. I don't quite think that follows yet. So we'll see where this goes.
I don't know. I feel like something needs to this call has to take something off because that's pretty
Faster
good.
than light.
We'll see what Art has to say about
was that he was missing.
Vanished? A victim of his own new calculations, perhaps?
Possibly. Evidently he left a message on his phone machine saying that he was going to kill himself. But so maybe, or
but
I don't know.
Nobody
if he
has
ever turned up.
Wait, is this guy suggesting a lawnmower man situation?
Or maybe or possibly a government cover up, which I think that's not in the Art Belt bingo anywhere. I should have government cover up.
Oh
there.
Yeah,
It's a bit of an oversight.
I thought he was suggesting that maybe because his programming was made everything so fast that he actually got sucked into the computer.
It could be, it's hard to say. Yeah.
Did you see Lawnmower Man? You're old enough.
Oh yeah,
to see
yeah.
It's not a good movie. It had the short-lived James Bond was in that. What was his name? Pierce Brosnan. Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan. Yeah. Well, it was a big movie at the time.
Was.
And I mean, CG was gimmicky and new enough that even the horrible CG that's in it is. And it was a Stephen King story, I think, right? Oh well.
All right, Shannon.
Or do that for yourself, Shannon. Now we just got black
boxes.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Nobody has found the body.
What's that?
I said nobody has found the body.
No, he, like I said, he may have even just came up not missing anymore. I was wondering maybe somebody out there knows a little more about this than I.
All right, weird story. We'll check it out with some others. Thank you. I have no idea. Interesting concept. Faster than light communications accomplished with something that communicates roughly at the speed of light or just below it. I wonder if there would be a way to accomplish that through computation.
And
not
what
as
would be
wild
the
as
point
you
on
might
Earth?
imagine.
Because
East of the Rockies, you're on the air.
communications
Hello.
are already essentially instantaneous, anyways.
My words getting to you faster than light isn't gonna help.
No.
Oh, we have some. I wonder, is this actual history? Did someone did someone Google this?
He disappeared in 95 and his body was found in 99, or
yeah, that one. I was that'd be interesting if this was
maybe
or this was 96, right? So
Paul.
Yes.
Alternate theory. This caller doesn't know what he's talking about, and all of this is made up.
Well, it seemed like,
but he did say it was like the bass player from.
I would say
Butterfly. So actually, it is something that could be. Yeah.
I think the caller was quite willing to admit that he had no idea what he was talking
about.
Yeah,
he didn't sound super.
And it was funny because he called. Here's the thing. We didn't have the internet as widely spread right back then, right? So if you wanted to know a fact, Dave.
Yeah.
You had to know someone else who knows the fact, and he didn't know anyone in his local area.
Oh yeah,
so
no, that is. I just googled him. That is actually like he did disappear in 95. Yeah, no, that is actual history. I stand corrected. It isn't they made up.
But
thing that is.
But the reason he called in was because he couldn't look it up. So he's like, "Well, I'm hoping someone else knows the answer to this question."
Yeah. But we have a nice super chat.
So. David Iacono? Is that maybe?
I would say Iacono. That's how I pronounce
Iacono?
it.
To the respectable hosts, I love you forever. Well, that is unconditional love, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, there might be some conditions there. You don't know that.
Well, it says I love you forever. Forever is...
Yeah, we'll see what he says when your hair goes back to normal.
That's true.
Yeah.
Have you seen... where's this guy? This guy. That guy's messy hair.
Yeah.
That guy's hair, not
that
the
guy
same.
Does not look like a professional.
No, this guy.
He's this Christ cartoon, Paul. Take some pride in your appearance. You're a professional for crying out loud.
My cartoon does not own a comb.
Mm-hmm.
Sky in New Orleans.
Hello, Sky.
Yes, I'm going to call for input on the for bugs.
Yeah.
I find it more believable than not. By what margin, I'm not sure. And I'll tell you why. One, I myself am a hunter. I've been a sniper before also. He did sound to know exactly what he was talking about as far as the firearms, especially when he was speaking about the 300. That is definitely something that can, reach out and touch someone.
Mm-hmm.
The way he, described everything and just, what weapons, were doing to the creature, would make sense. and just, I don't know, just the sound of his voice, like it was an actual experience.
Yeah, I know. It hit me that way, too.
There's something else that also...
Just the sound of his voice, Dave.
Yeah, you could
Did
tell.
you hear?
I could hear the pain in his voice.
All sincere people tell the truth, Dave.
Well,
and also no one is able to feign sincerity.
I mean, except the politicians. I'm enjoying both the Philip Kramer facts and Super Chat. Apparently, he invented data compression for CD-ROMs. There you go.
Really? Okay. So he was coding pretty hard.
And I'm also enjoying Stupid Horror Energy throwing shade at you, or maybe not. Maybe genuinely complimenting you, but
maybe not.
I feel like
so just briefly, it's medical. It's a medical thing, so it's not fashion.
I know you're not fashionable.
That's right. No one has. That is not an accusation that's thrown my way very often.
No.
You know, I don't know if you can allow the time for this. I've tried to get through before with your Halloween show or Truth or Trash, but a related story is, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Falk Monster or the Honey Island Swamp Monster down in this area.
No, I haven't.
Swamp Monster.
Now, this came from a tabloid of some kind?
No, not a tabloid.
No?
There's a long time been floating around stories about what is called the Honey Island Swamp Monster.
What is it?
No, it is.
By the way, is your radio on, sir?
Oh, I'm sorry, I did.
What's that?
That's a well-known cryptid, the Honey Island Swamp Monster. Yep.
I don't know if we have swamp monsters on our.
No, we have cryptids, which we already
got the cryptid.
Talking about Bigfoot forever. So I'm going to go ahead and cross off structures on Mars.
Okay.
My game.
Turn it off.
It is off.
All right. What is this monster?
There's been numerous reportings, which is basically a Bigfoot-type creature with an incredibly foul...
Stupid Horror Energy feels really bad.
Stupid Horror Energy should not feel bad because it is a weird thing and it's a thing. So, So the reason... I'm not going to get it. I didn't act responsibly all weekend long. There were some irresponsible things that I did this weekend.
Yes.
And if I had acted responsibly, then I wouldn't need to wear my medical device.
No.
So that's on me, not anyone else.
Stench. And the Honey Island Swamp is right along the border of Louisiana, Mississippi area.
Okay.
In the Pearl River area. And like I said, for several years, you hear different stories coming through about people, hunters, trappers, people out crawfishing or what have you, coming across creatures that look, basically a Bigfoot-type description.
Mm-hmm.
And the same came from the Falk area of Arkansas, which is in the southwest corner around the Texarkana area.
Right.
And what has been strange, some people have reported coming across footprints, oddly enough, with a 3-toe signature instead of, a normal 5-toe, which has always been associated with the Bigfoot. But like I say, there have been different stories floating around the swamp areas.
Yeah, there have been so many reports that I'm fairly convinced there is something out there. This man's story that I heard a little while ago, what did you think of it, sir?
Well, like I say, if I had to guess, I would say, 60%, maybe a little better, more believable than not.
Than not. All right, I would agree with that. Thank you very, very much for the call, and that's, I guess, my assessment, too. About 60% or a little better. In other words, I lean toward believing it, amazing as it is.
Hey,
I'm really glad he called. I'm glad that you all got to hear it.
This is going to get me canceled.
I don't know that I'm glad I'm in the middle of this right now because I think I believe it. We'll be right back. We've had something occur on the show program this evening. The man who sent me the facts on Sunday.
I'm just hitting pause so the music gets it.
That music that's not. I'm pretty sure that's just generic.
All right, well,
about shooting of the Bigfoot, plural to it. Contacted me tonight by fax, and I put him on the air from 12 midnight Pacific time until 12:30. He told the story on the air in significant detail. I've had a couple of people.
To be fair, the story is more interesting with that music playing underneath it.
That's because Art knows his business.
Yep.
in doubt about the bullet weights, but I've also talked to a couple of hunters who say no, he was exactly right. Exactly right. And I've got a number of faxes.
Which callers called in and said he was exactly right? When did Art just met this person an hour ago?
I can only assume that Bird Dog's called in because that's the only
Maybe
person
Bird Dog.
who could.
I guess it was 96,
Yeah.
so you could text on your phone by pushing 111 333.
Yeah. Hey, he's got a number of facts to see. Oh, does anyone have Art has a fax? I don't have it on mine. Do you have it?
No, I don't have.
I guess he had the one right at the start too to kick off this whole thing. So
That's true. This whole thing kicked off with a fax. So,
you got a new subscriber, Paul.
yay! Trent Oliphant, who I'm assuming is Timothy's brother
Or cousin.
or cousin.
I know, fucking Bird Dog, that son of a bitch.
So if I ever meet Timothy Oliphant now, what I'm going to do is say, hey, are you related to Trent Oliphant?
You related to Trent Oliphant? He'll be like, yeah, he's my brother.
It's awesome. He's a subscriber.
That's my show. Yeah. I really like
Sure,
that
this
zombie
was a-
show you did with Drew Barrymore. You were great on The Mandalorian.
No, he was not. Well, he was okay in Mandalorian. Mandalorian season 3 starts March 1st.
Yeah.
Lest Disney not get the word out, really. The people
Well,
tune
Vashante,
into
I
our-
assume he just sells it on purpose because he doesn't want attention.
People tune into our show to find out what's on Disney Plus.
Yes, which I don't have. Are you excited about the Ahsoka show?
No. Because
I am.
Well, because of Thrawn, maybe, right?
Because of Thrawn, who I still have a deep, abiding love for, despite everything. Yeah.
It'll be the Clone Wars /
It'll be the
Rebels.
Clone Wars one, which is still he was close enough to Zahn's Thrawn.
Yeah,
Zahn.
yeah. Well, I was
kept all
pleased
of the-
because they actually involved Timothy in the reimagining of it. Timothy Zahn, the author.
He
in
still
the
does the
reimagining.
art thing. He still is character-wise is very similar. So I was fine with that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And it's kind of put me in the middle here. From Bob, I won't give the last name, a retired Border Patrol supervisor. Art, I've been listening to Bugs, that's his pseudonym, with interest for the last few minutes, and I think the guy is telling the truth. I will bet he can produce some photos and take you to the graves. Wow,
better.
what a find.
But this man knows what makes good radio. Let's just say that. Yeah.
I bet he's going to show you photos and take you to the graves. It's not just send you a map.
No.
I almost gave out some spoilers for the magic hole, so I am glad Mel's hole.
Yep. Don't want to do that. Don't give
I
any
hold that
spoilers.
in. No Mel's hole spoilers.
Or this. Hi, Art. Well, this certainly sounds like the real deal. Now, once and for all, we're going to be able to put a stop to the myth about the Bigfoot. I'm happy and sad, all in the same mood. Yes, I believe the fella, but I have an awful feeling deep down in my guts about this. You know the feeling. The one where you know that you have done something terribly wrong. Signed,
You
Greenwood
know
Charlie.
Deep in your guts that you just killed Bigfoot. It is beautiful, lady
Oh,
Bigfoot.
Bigfoots. Did people weigh in? Is it Bigfoots or
We
Bigfeet?
didn't go. Is there some way you can put a poll? You need to
I
have
think
the.
maybe I'll
should
figure
we-
that out while we're taking the
Maybe
next caller.
that'll be a thing for future. We can have polls in the
I think there's a way I can do that, but we'll.
in our never-ending quest to add more gimmicks to make
That's
this
right.
content seem in some way enjoyable.
This whole show is held together with duct tape and spit.
Yeah. It's just a matter of time before one of us is above a dunk tank, and if somehow people can, anyways, yeah.
Art, you should request your Bigfoot person to at least send you one or two of the remaining 7 Polaroids. If they were taken some 20 or so years ago, I'm sure the photos could be dated as being taken from Polaroid film available during that period, just as the alien autopsy film.
I guess that's a good point. You'd be able, like, if someone produced a fresh Polaroid.
Yeah.
That is something different between digital photography, of course.
Yes.
That makes sense. That's a real thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's still going back, if all this was true, like this person could still presumably become rich forever if you could produce the bones and Polaroids of multiple
Absolutely.
big
Yeah, even now, for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't do this exercise, but I'm assuming that if one goes to the Wikipedia page for Bigfoot,
Yep.
that it doesn't say, this was all resolved in 1996 by Bugs.
By Bugs, who still had 7 Polaroids after the 3 were destroyed in a fire. Yeah.
I think I can do a poll. I just don't know how to do a poll on the...
Well, we'll
start a poll. Oh, here we go. I'll work on this while we do the caller.
Okay.
Uh-oh. I did the wrong thing.
Do I need to entertain?
Analyzed.
Oh,
Even
there
if
we
the
go.
individuals won't come forward, the photographs and their verification would be very impressive. Yes, I agree. Or this, I believe we've got a very credible story here. Bugs mentioned photographs. Art, you need to get him to send you a couple so we can get our opinions more solidified through your eyes. I see no harm to this man if he submits photos to you for further proof. So there you are. Dear Art, Bugs sounded sincere. What really sounds correct is that the hunter would take down a Bigfoot rather than trying to capture it. This is exactly the same thing that you have commented about aliens. If these hunters had encountered an alien, they would have taken the same action. A sorry comment about mankind. Dear Art, the calibers...
So who has aliens on their card?
I do. Alien/UFOs.
You got it.
Good call. Well, now I feel bad about the structures on Mars. I'm going to take that off.
We got the poll in the chat going for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is. I voted.
Proper pluralization.
We
I'm
need,
not I'm not sullying the I'm not swaying the results with letting people know what I think.
Hey, Paul, your opinion is just as valid as anybody in this chat. Possibly more, because
that's
you're
very
a big deal
affirming.
and all of these people are nobodies.
That's very affirming, Dave.
You and me are better than everybody else here. And never forget that.
mentioned are real.
That's a
YouTube's
good way
taught me any-
that's what you
YouTube's
want.
taught me anything.
That's a good way to build an audience and a community. Is definitely.
Look, we pride ourselves on service, and it's a service to let these people know that I'm up here, and they're down here. The sooner we all get on the same page, the sooner we can enjoy ourselves.
Bigfoots. So the big feet people will need to get going because the Bigfoots is at
Bigfoots is running away
75%.
with it.
Them both. The story he told, believable. Believable to me because there was something in his voice that is exactly how I feel myself about killing anything after years past, being an avid hunter. Or this from a physician. I will not give his name, Thomas, a medical...
I won't give his name, but it's Thomas.
Thomas. It's Thomas Yates.
He didn't even... I don't even know if he had enough time to breathe between when I won't give his name
and his name.
saying it's
Doctor. Ballistically, Bugs describes accurately the reactions of a large wild animal to the energy of the various bullet hits to the creatures. So, I'm sorry if you did not get...
So, the story had verisimilitude in its own way because the way he described... I don't remember him describing bullet strikes in any kind of way.
Well, I remember him saying like it hit and they fell down, but honestly, maybe he did. I don't remember.
All right. Let us know in the chat. Was he describing the bullet strikes in a way that is unique to animal kind or to non-humans?
I mean, I definitely believe this person, shot things.
I do believe that Bugs has gone night hunting many times.
Possibly even a shot at the humans. He probably was in Vietnam. Yeah.
All right, I think we're going to close the poll down. Bigfoot's. It's sliding actually. Should I leave it open a bit more? I think
this is a consequence-free poll. It means nothing. I don't see any harm in leaving it.
All right. Well, we'll leave it open for a few more
people
minutes.
can only vote once, right? Like it tracks and doesn't let people. vote multiple times. So
That's correct.
yeah.
To hear it. It was an amazing half hour. I kind of feel
It's not a scientific. This is not a scientific poll. I think
This
that
is a
goes
highly
without saying-
scientific
it
poll.
goes without
If people
saying.
want to log in with their alternate YouTube accounts,
That's right.
The ones they use to watch dirty videos, the ones I mean.
So
They
Carol,
can use those to vote too.
Carol Ann, $10 super chat. It looks like my preferred term will lose. That's sad. Have a super sticker in honor of Bigfeet. Thank you, Carol. I also prefer Bigfeet to Bigfoots, but that's
I prefer Bigfoots, but mostly for comedic purposes. So
I feel like Bigfoots. I just think Bigfeet is funny. I think that if these were terms that didn't have a humorous bent to me, that I would go for the more grammatically correct. English is a weird language, Dave. I don't know if you're aware of this.
I am. I'm also aware that pretty much every language is weird when you get into it. English just seems super weird to us because it's the one we know.
The pluralization rules on some of the exceptional words
Are yes, sketchy at best. You can say there have a lot of rules in English. Yeah.
I rarely have pity as often as I do when I find out someone's doing an English as a second language. It's
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks for you. Yeah.
in the middle of it now, very much in the middle of it, and it would have been a lot easier in a lot of ways had it not been so apparently realistic. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Good.
This is the most realistic facts, Dave. The facts was very realistic.
Very realistic. There was a real sincerity in the font, and I could. I could
you
feel
won't. So it's the subtlety, Dave. It's the subtlety of the details that you. If when the details are subtle like this, you can't deny that they're real.
No.
This is.
I assume this is a reference to a thing that I don't.
This is my opponent's position on my race resurrection debate.
Are these things that instead of
what you don't understand, Paulo, is how subtle these details are. I'm like, I don't know how you measure that.
Yeah. So subtle that maybe they're not there. Alternate theory.
Alternate theory.
If all of this is made up?
Yep.
And it doesn't quite line up because this is not in any way backed up by physical evidence or reality.
Welcome, Christian viewers, for whom we are relating the resurrection of your Savior to Bigfoot. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Morning.
Hi, this is the Italian Stallion. Boy, is it raining down there?
No, it's the wind is screaming though.
Boy, I just had to.
Big Rocky fan.
Rocky Balboa, Italian Stallion.
Rocky Balboa is calling into Art Bell. Well, golly.
Also, 1996 with its timely reference.
Unless that's just his name for himself.
Although Rocky V was probably around that time.
Would have been a little before. No, it would have been before. Because I remember watching that when I was in high school and I graduated in '96. So even Rocky
Tommy
V.
Guns.
Yeah. Oh, that was a bad movie.
All right, but Creed 3.
I've only ever saw the first Creed movie.
Actually, me too. I haven't seen Creed 2. I haven't saw Creed 2. I've been listening to Bugs too long. I said "seen" when in the wrong place. Jonathan Majors, who is Kang, is the opposing
the jail buddy that comes
boxer
back,
or something in Creed 3. So that made me excited when I was watching the Ant-Man, Quantumania.
Yep.
It just kind of got me pumped about Jonathan Majors as a performer. So.
Absolutely, this is a Christian channel. Spooky Bed here. Paul won't shut up about the Bible. Haven't you ever watched any of his videos? It's all he talks about.
Yeah, actually, it is. I would by many definitions, it is a Christian channel. Yeah.
Yeah. By the loose one I just threw out there, certainly.
Creed 2. I don't know why I haven't seen Creed 2 because it has the Dolph Lundgren.
Yep. Because I really enjoyed Creed 1, so it's like it doesn't really make sense that I wouldn't have, but I'm also I just
should
never
have by now.
Somehow was it like a COVID movie that just kind of got lost in the shuffle? Maybe. I don't know.
All right, Creed 2. That's on my list. I have one more film to watch, so I've seen all the Oscar nominees.
So I've watched like almost none of them.
and then I'll get on the Creed 2. I haven't seen Women Talking yet, which is going to be a hard watch for me.
Yeah, I probably won't.
Yep.
Yeah, you're just so wet tonight on this story, and these people are so naive. I mean, you're talking to a
There it is. We're about to get some truth from the Italian stallion. He's dropping
Art,
truth bombs.
Your callers are naive, my friend.
Yeah, you're
buddy.
just being wet.
person that has a dream to have an expedition and go hunt Bigfoot and write books and stuff. And right now I don't have the funds, but I can tell you this much. Okay, the guy knew a lot about guns and stuff. I reload myself, and I know and steady ballistics and stuff. Okay, so what? Yeah, he shot at it with a 243 and a 300 Weatherby. I mean, I wouldn't shoot anything that was like a beast with a 240. With 240.
Well, that's what they had there, I guess. I mean, they were hunting various game. If you heard his explanation for profit, and so that happened to be what they had on hand. I don't find it unusual.
That is a reasonable point by Art. Actually, it's not like these guys
They weren't out hunting Bigfoot. They were hunting coyotes.
Right.
Yeah.
Usual that there would be different caliber weapons on hand. Frankly, Wildcard Line, you're on the air. Good morning.
Yo, Art.
Hello.
Oh,
He just shut that guy down. I'm not even talking to you again. Yep.
Yeah.
Some of the call-in shows we have here on the internet should maybe be more free to do that. It's like, you know what? Boom.
I tuned in after the show was on to about 12:40 was when I tuned in, but I had an experience up in Northern California with a friend of mine. We're headed up to Reno and about Bigfoot, and I just wondered if you might be interested in hearing it. And
briefly, yeah, sure.
Okay, well, we were on our way to Reno. We're up by Mount Shasta, about 25 miles out in the woods. By the way, I contacted Ray Crow and told him my story, and he believed me. And
what you always want to do when you're telling a story is provide some references about people who believe you, not who can corroborate. Just my mom thinks it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
We stopped to rest. And
oh, we got a super chat. Oh,
yes. First time super chat.
Brain cramp.
Yes.
It's midnight here in Virginia.
I believe that's Virginia, right? Sorry,
so
American.
happy Fat Tuesday.
Happy Fat Tuesday. Woo! I've already had 3 beer and some
that's
rum.
That's a Mardi Gras reference, right?
Yes. I mean, that's, yeah. Yep, it is.
All right.
We got out and started walking around, looking around in the forest and stuff, and there was like an old fence up there. We saw a long strand of hair. It's probably 2 feet long. And we took that and said, oh, this must be an elk or something like that up here, a horse or something like that. And so we discarded it, and we went back to Mount Shasta to talk to some people at the store and get some groceries and things, and they told us that there was no elk, and up in that area there's no horses or anything that are ridden up there. It was a real dense forest up there, and we wish we could have kept that hair, and we just threw it out the window as we were going back to Mount Shasta, laughing about it. Thought it was probably just horse hair, and they said no, but there have been
all those vast regions in America where there are no horses.
Mm-hmm.
There's no horses here, Dave. Just none.
I feel sad. Horses are beautiful. And delicious.
Foot up there.
You can turn them into glue.
And we heard some noises down in the brush, so we went down to investigate during that time, and it was like a grunting sound, and we went down in there, and it would move away from us, and when we come back up to the car, just before we left, it was right back in the same area, making sort of like big, heavy grunt.
What?
Tom Hatton's joke in chat made me laugh.
All right. What? The
You
Bigfoot?
also
This
laughed
one?
at it. Yeah, read it. Read the whole thing.
Bigfoot or Bigfoots are both okay, but regional iterations like the Yeti and skunk ape should be collectively known as the Tootie Bigfootie. Tootie Bigfootie?
Yeah. Bigfootie is a funny word.
It's funny. Tootie Bigfootie. What is the plural? Yeti is, I think Yeti is plural. It's one of those words that Yeti.
Yes.
You say Yetis.
Singular and plural.
So there's
it's like
one Yeti, 2 Yeti.
Yeah.
Sasquatch. How do you pluralize Sasquatch?
As Sasquatch, the plural of Sasquatch would be Sasquatch.
It was not Sasquatches.
I mean, well, you could do it either way, as long as you're consistent.
I feel like it would be Sasquatches.
2 Sasquatches. But you could also say 2 Sasquatch. There were 3 Sasquatch on the hill. Yeah.
Noises, and
Because
by that
English.
time we said,
It's English. You do what you want.
we're just going to get in the car and get out of here. This is too weird. But that's the only encounter I've ever had with
Going back,
something.
do you know what Fat Tuesday is Paul? The Christian
I feel like Fat Tuesday is that.
So Fat Tuesday is Mardi Gras.
Okay.
But
no,
it's-
I was suddenly thinking about in terms of Lent terms, where like you
It is
gorge.
has to do with Lent.
Oh, so is it? So you gorge before you have to go
Yes,
and not
it
do
is
all
the
your
Tuesday
things?
before Ash Wednesday.
Okay.
It's you eat.
So I was
Yeah.
right. I was in the ballpark there.
You had the right ballpark. Yeah, so that is what it is. That is it's more of a Catholic thing than our thing. But.
So I am not planning to. This was a long weekend here, and I have been not so responsibly enjoying my beverages.
Well, are you giving them up for Lent this year?
No, so but I'm gonna honor.
Yeah.
Giving up Lent for Lent.
Oh, there you go.
Giving up you for Lent.
Oh, hey, now that's 40 days. Hey,
is 40? Lent isn't 40. Is what?
Isn't Lent 40 days? It was Jesus 40 days in the desert. Like when he fasted for 40 days in the desert, you give up Lent.
Man.
It's 40 days before Easter.
Hmm.
Am I wrong about this? I feel like that. See, we didn't like the tradition that Paul and I grew up. We didn't really do Lent, but my dad's family,
Mennonites would have. This was all.
and they
Ash Wednesday was
absolutely
nothing.
do Lent. Like my dad's family did Lent. It was
Okay.
It's a thing, yeah.
Well, someone let us know in the chat, and you can make suggestions about what you think that Paulogia and Dave should give up for Lent, because holy
Don't
cow,
say me.
Lent is definitely 40 days.
Yeah. Yeah, in some respects, but it's the Lent traditional Lent. It's a 40-day, and it's
whatever
to
I'm going to
symbolize
give
when
up for
Jesus
40
went to the
days,
desert and fasted for 40 days. Yeah,
that's just what I should do all day tomorrow. Whatever it is, I'm going to give up. Okay.
Don't vote me. Don't say give up, Dave.
It could have been Bigfoot, but
Well, what did you think? Oh, you say you didn't hear the story.
no, I didn't get a chance to hear that.
Yeah, that's really a shame. All right. Well, what we may do is we'll pull that half hour in the morning after the program and prep it and perhaps repeat it for you tomorrow night somewhere in this hour, so I can be sure that
there was no podcasts or anything back then, right? So there was
no.
If you missed,
If you didn't catch it,
and no one was there's. Actually, I don't think anyone ever came up with PVR for radio. I don't know that ever became a thing.
Not that I remember. It's like we knew Art would do. They would replay popular episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally, yeah. When someone was on vacation or called in sick or whatever. But yeah, generally speaking, if you missed it, she gone.
Yep, she gone.
Yeah,
everybody has heard it. I think that what you heard was a significant occurrence. That's my take on it. And if I were a betting man, and I don't think I would put money on this one way or the other, but if I did, I would bet it was the real thing, and I would bet this man could lead us to those graves. That's what I think. It's just a feeling. I mean, I listened to his story, and I thought I was impressed by it. I thought it was real. As I thought the facts was real, I think the rendition we got on the air was added to my impression that what we're hearing is real. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello. Hello there. I guess we missed him. First-time caller line, you're on the air. Hello.
Yeah, Art, how you doing?
Okay.
I listened very carefully to the story, and it's got so many holes in it that it just doesn't stand up.
Well, shoot.
It's got as many holes as the Bigfoot he shot.
Mm-hmm. That was a lot. 5, I believe he said.
4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah,
those holes.
Okay, I will. No, I'm sure no pun intended. Well, unlike a lot of these people calling, I was an actual Army sniper.
Like a lot of the people who are calling, I was an Army sniper.
Just in general, not tonight.
A lot of people.
Well,
Army
although, so now Bugs did say that him and his 2 buddies, Bird Dog and Billy,
Buddy,
were Buddy. That's right. Sorry, Bird Dog and Buddy. All 3 of them were Marine snipers. He mentioned that.
But
They
the
were all
caller
snipers.
now just said, like, a lot of people who call in, I was a former army
like
sniper.
a lot of people call in, and we're all Army snipers. Yeah.
It just so disproportionately Army snipers like the Art Bell show and call in.
I think the chat has now turned into like a lengthy discussion about Lent. Oh, yeah. For people, so fasting for Lent. No, there are Christian traditions that don't really do Lent. There's ones that do. It's not just Catholics. Catholics are the big famous one, but there are others.
Yeah, I think.
But the fast isn't. You're not giving up food for 40 days. It's not. No one ever says like you go 40 days without eating. It'd be like, I really like, alcohol is a common one, or
chocolate, chocolate or coffee or
coffee is a good one. You're supposed to pick something that you enjoy, and you're like, I'm going to abstain from it for 40 days. As a sign of my devotion and to empathize with what Jesus had to go through. That's the idea behind it. But you still eat and drink. Like you're not
right.
Nobody's suggesting that somehow you can live if you don't eat for over a month. But yeah, a fast isn't necessarily giving up all food. Fasting can be giving up anything, technically even celibacy or whatever. Like you're just giving up on something. It's not full on hunger strike.
How do you give up celibacy, Dave? That would be a good thing to give up.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you're aware of prostitution, but it's pretty fantastic. What? Who's going on?
Gave up.
Demonetized.
Gave up celibacy for Lent.
Yeah, and there's like Orthodox tradition, meat, eggs, dairy, olive oil, a whole bunch of stuff. But then fish on Fridays for some reason is okay because it's not meat. I don't know, but yeah.
All right.
For 3 snipers to be in one place hunting at the same time is pretty unusual since there's not.
Actually, I just want to say, Michael Smith, me knowing more about Christianity than Christians is pretty much what I based my whole career on at this point. So,
and to be very fair, this is it's not like Lent is in the Bible.
No,
right?
No.
Like this is a thing that certain Christian traditions do, but it's not in any way. So like you could be, if you're Baptist or something, like you probably never observe Lent. There's big parts of the world where they never observe Lent. It's not a thing. It's more of the old school Catholic, Orthodox, Lutheran, like the very, what would you call it? What's the word for it, Paul? Like very
Orthodox? What?
Yeah, kind of like dogmatic. Whatever. Those schools tend to. The more Protestant you are, the less likely it is you follow.
So that I normally call that school the Catholic and what they call the Orthodox, and more into that Orthodox side. The non-Protestants, I guess I would say.
Protestants, and especially like the Anabaptist traditions, you're going to be much less likely to do Lent. Yeah.
We didn't baptize babies. That's
Nope.
no good.
They don't know what they're doing.
No not catechism, but the christening and all that. Yep.
A whole lot of them. He claims they were using a 243.
No, wait a minute. One thing at a time. These guys were in Vietnam together. They were friends.
Okay.
I mean, now, didn't you listen to the story?
Yes, I did, but I...
Did you listen to this?
Okay.
Don't
Yeah.
Don't be misrepresenting bugs.
Yeah. It's the dismissive. Okay.
Facts are all wrong to be such a...
Well, I mean, we can only take them one at a time. Now, there were 3 friends from who did Vietnam service. That's not a big surprise. Anyway.
Well, no, but for all of them to be snipers is. But for
why would that be weird? That you stayed friends with people in your unit?
Yeah, that's not weird.
That's not weird.
But I think this guy is more just saying like the nuts and bolts details of what they're describing from a ballistic point of view, from the guns, the ammunition stuff. He's like, it's not adding up.
I was hearing that he thought the thing that was tripping him up was that 3 former snipers would be out hunting together, and that seems like a regular thing that could happen. But what do I know?
I don't know.
one thing, he was very detailed on he said a 300 Weatherby and a 243. He was shooting a 280 grain bullet out of the Weatherby and a 125 grain bullet out of the 243. There are no such bullets.
Well, you can load them that way, I suppose.
No, the heaviest bullet available for the 243 is a 107 grain Sierra Match King.
I know, but if you're loading your own,
no, you can't make your own bullets. You have to buy them. You can
make your own bullets.
No, he's not wrong. Like you can, So okay, so there's the bullet, there's the cartridge, there's the shell. Like you can, but there are still like there's physical.
Yeah, there's
limits.
still physical parameters that need to have. Yeah.
But yes, you can make your own bullets. Yeah, that it's like when he's saying like there's only this is the largest bullet you can put in this weapon.
I think Art is wrong here, but yeah,
yeah, like this guy probably knows a lot more about this than Art done, who admittedly doesn't know much about this at all. Yeah.
Vary the powder charge. You can't vary the weight of the bullet.
Well, the grains, that is the power, the charge,
no,
right?
Grains is the avoirdupois scale of weight. A grain does not mean an individual grain of powder. Grains is a measure of weight.
Right,
but
right. But what I'm saying is, you could by putting the appropriate amount of powder in, create a bullet with that.
No. The weight of the bullet is the copper and lead projectile itself, and it's impossible for a 243 to shoot a bullet that heavy because it will not catch the rifling and fire. Another point was when he's climbing through the brush. This is one of the old wives' tales that all semi-knowledgeable gun people hear is. He fired a .44 Magnum at this thing and knocked it back 4 feet.
Yeah.
Well, according to Newton's laws, which haven't been repealed yet, there's always an equal and opposite reaction. A firearm cannot knock a heavy object backwards. If it did, it would knock the firer back an equal distance.
But he may have been speaking of the reaction of the creature when it was hit. He wasn't necessarily laying down an ironclad action-reaction argument. In other words, the creature may have reacted in that manner when it was hit. Is that not possible?
It's possible it would have jerked back or recoiled, but he said it literally knocked it back 3 or 4 feet.
Well, to the perception, sir, of the shooter, I'm sorry, I don't see the difference. In other words, if you shoot and the creature or whatever it is appears to be thrown back or is in fact.
I hate to defend Bugs here, but I think this is not the hole in the story.
Yeah, and it's like it wasn't. This isn't forensics here. We're just he's like, I blasted the thing and it fell back from me. Okay, it fell back like that.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. Yes, it's there is recoil, but also okay. Like I have gone shooting. I have got out like power, like double powdered 12 gauge slugs and things where it's like these have a lot of kick, and it's like when you're shooting, it's like okay, like this is gonna have a lot of kick, so you gotta like careful, like you gotta. Even I'm a big guy, as Paul knows, and I have a lot of mass, and I'm a tall and big guy. And even people are like, you will fall down. Like you gotta brace it, have no lead, like have something, be ready. There's a big difference from that and being hit when you're just like, it would absolutely knock me over if I wasn't ready and braced and going for it. So, I mean, yes, he's not wrong, but he's also, no, it wouldn't knock it back 4 feet, but yeah, come on. The bullet stuff, I'm more with him on that one, where it's like, no, there are physical limits to how big a bullet you can put in a gun.
We've gone 220. How are you feeling about how much longer we want?
I feel like we should probably go to at least the bottom of the hour. What do you think?
Bottom of the hour? All right. So if you have more super chats, things you want to let us know, you got about 10 more minutes.
You got about 10 more minutes to throw the super chats out there.
Thrown back. You may be right about the physics of it, that it would not, as a result of the actual hit, be thrown back in that way. That it was thrown back, or that its reaction was being thrown back to the shooter, would seem an effect from his shot, and he would describe it in that manner, I do believe. East of the Rockies, you're on the air.
Yeah, I had a question.
Yeah, no goodbye. I love it. No goodbye for the caller. Just boom.
It is the ultimate any talk radio host, right? Like you can just make your point and the other person has no chance to rebut or react because But
this is Tillman in Nashville, by the way.
Yes, sir.
I believe the guy's story about the Bigfoot.
I did too.
But wouldn't the bodies have decayed by now? That was like
Yes, of course they would have. But decayed beyond identification, no. I mean, you can probably exhume, since it was buried and wasn't there for scavengers, you could probably exhume and do genetic testing and other type of testing.
So you think they could find some of the remains?
Sure.
Okay. And not to get off the subject, well, I guess it would be.
I mean, you would definitely be able to tell, like, was it 7 feet tall?
Yeah, like the bones would still be there, right? Yeah,
for sure.
On any subject you want.
The guy that wanted to know people's fears.
Yes.
I work for the post office, and I have a big fear that
You, sir, are people's fears.
well, I have fear of some of the people I work with.
Yeah, that's what I meant. All right, thank you very much. A postal employee. Did any?
I guess that was probably a thing from earlier in the show.
Probably because I didn't play the first 40 minutes or so. So yeah.
People's fears. Yeah.
We didn't
There
know
you
they were
go.
going to get a facts about Bigfoot that derailed the whole evening.
Derailed, Paul, or
made delicious.
gave shape to.
Have you seen Naked Gun 33 and a Third? What a dumb movie, but the beginning of that movie was a
good
riot.
movie.
It was an absolute riot with the babies bouncing down the stairs and in baby carriages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a parody of that. Well, I can't
Parody of
remember,
Untouchables, right?
Untouchables, right, with the baby carriage going, right. I was going to say the Al Capone one, Untouchables, yeah. Yes, yeah, where there's just like carriage after carriage after carriage. Oh, Leslie Nielsen was a treasure.
He was treasure.
Yeah.
This wave after wave of evil people with bombs strapped on from the Middle East, mad postal employees with machine guns. It was a riot. The scenes in the beginning of that movie were a riot. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi, Art.
Hello.
This is Ron.
Okay, turn your radio off, Ron.
It's right now I am.
Yes, that's
Okay.
good. Get the radio off, or we'll have to leave the line.
It's off now.
That's good.
Okay, calling about the gentleman that called in about the Bigfoot.
Yes, uh-huh.
First of all, I want to say that I totally believe that these things could be possible. The problem with this story is, if I may, is that going from the end forward, he described this thicket as 150 feet by 50 feet, did he not?
Yep.
Well, he said he was 50 feet into it, and that it was only, 4 or 5 feet tall, something like that.
Well, I think he described the side in the ravine of 150 feet long, 50 feet wide.
In totality, yes, but
Right.
he only went 50 feet in.
Okay, well, he must have been crawling in.
That's what he said, yes.
Okay, but not crosswise, see, vertically, the long ways, because otherwise he'd be out the other side. Now, one thing that hunters would do...
No. You wouldn't be out the other side of something 150 feet long if you were 50 feet in.
No, but it was 150 feet long, 50 feet wide. Am I incorrect in what I heard?
Well, look, he went in... We're going to have to play the thing again tomorrow night and,
Okay, well,
get the facts down.
just quickly, though, if he... Basically, when you're doing this, and I understand why he was, and I have nothing against it. I mean, well, I do morally about hunting at night and so forth, but logically, it seems like...
I don't mind if you shoot two guys who look like they're humans, but you shouldn't be doing it at night.
Yeah, well, I think he's about to say something about like why you would
they
crawl
would
into
have walked
a thicket,
together
though, and-
around the perimeter of this to check it out. I mean, it only would make sense. That would be my first instinct, is let's all walk together in a group, obviously very close together, so...
No, you missed where they had a 3-sided coin to decide who was going to go into.
Who's going to crawl in after this creature into the thicket?
In case anything happened, all the fire would go the same direction. Okay, that's one thing. The second thing is when backing up in the beginning of the story, is when they sight this thing, it seems logical that this animal being of that nature, to hear a motor and the headlights coming. When it's dark, Art, you can see headlights miles away out there.
Well, he said they had a very, very bright light. They were doing professional hunting.
I know, but they hit that when they spot it with the headlights.
Well, they spotted it with that big, particular bright light they had, is what he said.
Right.
And that is the way a lot of people have hunted for a long time. It's
I
not
understand
necessarily
that from the
proper,
south,
but
and, yeah. But anyway,
Right. I remember my ancestors talking about how they hunted from their truck from the giant lights.
Yeah.
Like they did in the olden times. Remember at the Western Development Museum, Dave, when you'd go and hey, here's where we got on our big truck and we shot our
also
food
here's
from
the steam powered John Deere tractor
from the floodlights.
Yeah.
those are my two main concerns. I mean, that far away, of course, and then having the time. And one thing he did say that led to give it the positive side was he said once they spotted it in the scope. There was not a doubt he knew what it was. Do you remember that part?
Well, or at least that it didn't appear human. Now, that was my question. If you had something standing on 2 feet which he said it wasn't. It was down on all fours, or crouched, he said.
Correct.
And then it came up.
Right.
And it was, the whole thing was hairy now, and not dressed. I mean, that is not, to a hunter, a human.
No, I agree. But at that point,
if we want to save Bigfoot, Dave, the way we save Bigfoot is we get him pants.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You know
Not
what?
Shorts. Not shorts, because fuck those guys. They're not sponsors of the show.
No. I do know some people. I'm going to make some calls. Maybe get in touch with this Bigfoot Society with its helicopter born lawyers.
With their helicopters.
And possibly we can airdrop some pants in to the Bigfoots or Bigfeet. No judgment
either
here.
way.
And see if we can maybe get them some pants and avoid this kind of
this unfortunate situation.
Yeah. Where
that Bugs and Bird Dog and Buddy, if they'd seen pants, none of this would have happened.
None of this would have happened. We would have a living, breathing Bigfoot and his beautiful lady Bigfoot day with us, answering a lot of questions about the presumably some kind of co-evolution. I don't know, other tangent to, but either way, biologically, it'd be interesting.
Yeah. It would be, yeah. They have much to teach us, the big feet.
They have so much to teach us. Yeah.
So there is an episode, and it's not art though, of the Bigfoot researcher who tells us all about the telepathic. So he communes with the Bigfoot community. Have you heard that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they are telepathic and all the things that they're one in nature.
Like this
I'm tempted. If we ever branch out from art, that would be one I'd be interested in.
It's so hard. Yeah, like that's why, because I love Art. Like he's clearly the best. There's no question that Art was the best host for Coast to Coast. But a lot of the best crazy ass shit is with the other hosts that just went, because Art tried to present this somewhat as like,
right. He took it more serious.
He took it more serious, right? Like, and he was like, "No, you're just a crank. We don't need you here on this, right?" Like what was the one we had? Not the Mel's Hole, the one before, where he was just like openly hostile to this last.
Oh, was that the Bible Code? Maybe
that was the two asteroid guy.
Oh yeah,
where everything was just 100% based on like what he read in the Bible, and Art's just like, nah, this is.
Oh yeah, the Revelation guy. Yeah,
the Revelation guy, right? We're like, do you have anything to base this on that isn't the Bible? Give me something. This guy's got nothing. He's like, no.
So as a teaser, I don't know if we'll see how people react to the episode. If we ever want to get to part 2 of the Bugs saga, as a teaser, so Art has on 2 guests. He has on a lifelong Bigfoot researcher.
Okay.
And Bugs at the same time, and they cross-examine each other
on the details
to check each other's stories.
Well, I'm intrigued.
And I believe in that one there is discussion about. Well, I don't want to spoil it, but they get into more of the details about.
This is a spoiler-free zone.
Yeah.
And the Vox Populi have spoken, Paul. It's clearly Bigfoots.
Bigfoot. I think that one's done. The poll is done.
Vox Populi, Vox Day.
Well, thank you so much. I think that we will end it there. Thank you so much, as always, Dave, for being
Paul.
with us, and for
and
for all of you for this Monday evening. At least for us, it's a Monday evening wherever you are. Maybe it's some other time, some other day. Doesn't matter. We appreciate spending the time with you.
At the end of the day, our good friend John Hunter. No comment. Just wanted to, presumably contribute to the health of the channel and just enjoy.
That's correct. We appreciate, because this along with our sponsors allows this all to happen.
Absolutely.
I'm still, Dave, you and I think we've mentioned before, I've had some collection issues with some of our sponsors that we should maybe talk about offline.
Yeah. Well, we got a lot of things we got to hash out.
Yeah, that's right. We'll figure it out. But Dave, do you have a joke for us?
A joke to sign off?
Do you have a sign-off joke?
Oh, we're ending a little earlier than sometimes we do.
Oh, well, should we keep going? I'm happy to keep
No.
going.
I'm just thinking about what joke I want to tell.
Oh, I see. All right.
Okay. Well, Paul, I'll give it to you. It's much better. Do you want a short joke or a longer joke?
Oh, let's longer. Let's go. Let's go. Longer.
Okay. This is a joke about a horse, Paul. This horse's name was Bill. And Bill, now this is a couple decades ago, Bill one night was watching MTV, back when MTV still had music videos, the bands playing. And he's watching these guys and girls play the music on the MTV, and he's like, I want to do that. So he goes down to the old Long and McQuaid, the music store, and he says, hey, can I buy a guitar? And they're like, absolutely. We'll take you to the guitar room, show you around. You know what you're looking for? He's like, well, not really. I don't honestly know anything about guitars. They say, well, then you need to learn how to play. We got a guy named here, Dale, greatest guitar teacher you ever met. Come back on Thursday nights. That's when he teaches guitar lessons. So Bill comes on Thursday and meets this Dale, and he says, I want to learn how to play guitar. Dale says, absolutely. We love first timers come in. We want to share our love of music. And Bill says, I don't know if you've realized, but I'm a horse. Is that going to be a problem? Dale says, man, it's not going to be any kind of problem at all. It was a very good question. He's like, you come back, I'm going to hook you right up. And he comes back and picks up guitar. And he starts taking guitar lessons. And lo and behold, Dale is an amazing teacher. And only in like 2 or 3 months, Bill's actually getting half decent. So one day he's in the bar and he's just kind of playing some music. It's not Eddie Van Halen, but it's good. And his friend Ted the Pig comes by. And Ted's listening to him play guitar. And he says, hey, man, that's pretty cool. I want to do that too. And Bill says, well, what you got to do is you go down to the music store. You find this guy named Dale. He'll teach you how to play just like he taught me. So he goes down, he talks to Dale, and Dale hooks him up, says, come by Thursdays. And Ted says, well, I don't know if you realize this, but I'm actually a pig. Is that going to be a problem? And Dale says, no, man, not going to be any kind of problem. Come on Thursday, we'll hook you up. So he starts taking lessons too. And in a couple months, he's getting pretty good. So one day, him and Bill are both playing, and he's playing more rhythm guitar. Bill's playing lead, but they're just kind of jamming and playing along. And Betty the sheep sticks her head in, and she's like, "You guys are amazing. I want to learn how to play guitar too." And Bill says, "No. You don't need to learn to play guitar. You need to learn to play bass. We already got 2 guitars. We need a bass to round this out." She's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense." And they're like, "Go down to the music store, talk to this guy Dale. He can recommend a bass teacher for you." So they go and talk to Dale, and Dale says, no, don't worry about it. I teach bass. Bass lessons are Wednesdays. She's like, well, can I play bass? I mean, I'm a sheep. He's like, it's not going to be a thing. Don't worry about it. I'm going to hook you up. Just come on Wednesday. And sure enough, she comes on Wednesday, starts taking lessons, and in a couple months, she's getting pretty good. Well, the 3 of them are playing, and Otis the chicken sticks his head in, listens, and they tell him, Otis, you got to learn to play drums. We got 2 guitars, a bass, the classic rock. We need drums, and then we'll have a rock band. Mm-hmm. So he goes and he talks to Dale, and Dale's like, "Oh yeah, I can teach you how to play drums. Drum lessons are on Tuesdays." And he's like, "I'm a chicken." He's like, "Man, ain't gonna be a problem. You come on Tuesday, we're gonna hook you right up." Well, he goes, he takes lessons, he starts getting pretty good. All 4 of them are getting pretty good, and they're like, "You know what? We should write a couple songs. We should write a couple songs and perform them." So they do. And they throw them up on the YouTubes, and these things go viral. There's 4 animals playing music, playing some original songs.
Makes sense.
They're
absolutely
millions of views, Pauls. And they gain the attention of legitimate labels. And Capitol Records comes by. Guy comes, he's like, "Hey, I'm from Capitol Records. We would like to sign you." They're like, "What?" They're like, we saw your channel. We think you got real talent. The gimmick you have is fantastic. We can make some real money. We want to sign you, put a record out, put you on tour in real stadiums. They're like, "Absolutely. Where do we sign?" So they get the deal done. They sign it up. It's like, one thing, you got to have a name. And they all kind of look and go, and they go, "Well, what about Barnyard Bill and the Animals?" They're like, "Bill and the Animals. That's fantastic. It's perfect." So that's what they do. They put out an album. The album does well. They go on tour. They're selling out, 15, 16,000 seat stadiums.
Wow. great.
They're doing really great. But then one night there's a call back from the farm for Bill.
Uh-oh.
Bill, you got to get home right away. Your father is deathly ill. Hurry home as quick as you can. He's like, I can't. We're in Chicago. We got a 30,000 seat stadium sold out. I can't just leave. Everybody else in the band is like, no, go. We'll put out a press statement. We'll explain it. We'll deal with whatever we got to deal with tickets and rescheduling, whatever. This is more important. Family's more important. Go home, deal with it. So he does. He rushes home that night. He drives all through the night, gets home, and he is able to get home. He is able to spend the day with his father, who does unfortunately pass. And Bill spends, 4 or 5 days dealing with all of the things you have to deal with when that kind of thing happens. And he calls his friends and he's like, hey, so I'm kind of done everything here. Where are you guys at? They're like, well, we're going to be in Philadelphia tomorrow. Are you okay? Like, you don't have to. We can deal with it. He's like, no, actually, it would be, I kind of need to get away. I need to get busy. I need to start doing something.
Moving on. Makes sense.
Yeah, it would actually be really good if I could just start playing and go. They're like, well, we'll be in Philadelphia tomorrow. Just drive here, meet us in Philly, and we'll do the show and we'll go from there. So he's driving. So he drives. He gets to Philadelphia. When he's there, their manager, Dwayne, meets him at the hotel and says, Bill, I don't know how to tell you this, so I'm just going to say it. There was an accident. There was a plane crash. The band's dead. Ted and Otis and was it Doug, Dwayne?
Remember?
Yeah, all your bandmates. They've all passed away. I'm very, very sorry. And Bill, understandably, is devastated. Within the course of a week, he has lost his father and all of his friends and his livelihood and everything. And so at this point, he's essentially in shock mentally. He doesn't even know what to do. He just is like, oh, okay. And he just goes out and he starts walking. He's walking around the streets in downtown Philadelphia. And he keeps walking till after midnight. And finally he looks up and he sees this little dive bar. He says to himself, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in this bar and I'm going to get as drunk as I've ever been in my life. Just blackout drunk. Because he's like, I just need to shut off for a while. I can't deal with this right now. He's like, I'm going to get as drunk as I've ever been. Tomorrow I'm going to keep drinking. And then next week I'll handle this. And that's his plan. He's like, I got my wallet. I got my credit cards. I'm going in. I'm just going to start buying drinks for myself in the bar. We're going. So Bill walks in as sad as he's ever been. Goes to the bar and walks up to the counter, and the bartender says, hey, friend, why the long face? Because he's a horse.
Oh, that snuck up on me. Oh, damn it.
Bill the horse walks into a bar, and the bartender says, hey, friend, why the long face?
Well,
yeah.
So
there you go. Well, next time you should have said short. That's your fault. That's your fault, Paul.
We'll workshop some of this stuff maybe for next time. Yeah. All right. Well, with that,
good night,
hopefully
friend.
None of you have a long face.
Pleasure
this evening.
as always. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and we will.
We'll see how many subscribers I just cost you. Yeah.
We'll catch you next time. We have a show.
Next time,
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
And that's the end of our show.
And we're off.